What up, YouTube? Welcome to episode 41 of D&D Sports Chat. We're going to be going live here in just a momento.
A momento?
Hello? Let me get everything ready here.
Chad's back this week.
Yeah, welcome back, Chad. Had a little bit of a flu bug, did we?
A little flu bug, yes.
Was it the 24-hour flu bug, or did it last a while?
It lasted 48.
Oh.
Those are good times.
Yeah, it was fun. Oh. So fun.
All right. We all set, y'all?
Let's rock and roll, y'all.
Yow. Easy street.
I guess I gotta.
Don't get sad.
I forgot. I always forget to dial in. Damn it.
Oh God.
Sorry.
Did you watch Walking Dead?
I did watch Walking Dead.
This was a little bit better, but
this is good.
A little bit better.
This is good.
Negan, I don't know.
He's taking the baby.
I think
he
Negan
clean shaved too.
I think Negan takes the baby.
He is, because he's trying to have a baby with that other chick, and it's not working.
He's
going to take
blanks.
If you watch the previews, Rick's face at the very last preview they show, Rick's face tells you everything that happened.
That's the end right there.
He's going to kill somebody and then take the baby.
Please enter your conference ID.
Might be Carl.
Not yet.
Is that about Carl's
Enter your PIN, followed by
his
the pound
actor,
key.
like,
If you are not
actually
a
him,
member,
he said he
press
wants to go to
1,
college,
then
so he's
pound.
leaving the show.
To get
So
access
He might die.
to all features,
he's going to die either
I'm sorry.
this time around or after this. He'll die this season.
I don't blame anybody for not wanting to go to college or whatever, but if you're a big star now,
joining the
purpose?
call.
why go?
You're making-
why not just
making
wait until the
millions?
show's
Yeah, but
over?
TV shows don't make as much money as movies do.
Oh,
No, but
Walking Dead, I
he's
think
making a
probably will.
boatload of money.
I don't know.
Chandler
dude.
Riggs is making a ton of money.
Chandler Riggs is a hell of a child actor right now. But, yeah. All right, we ready to go live?
That's it.
Do it.
Talk shoes. Recorded live.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode number 41 of D&D Sports Chat, coming to you live from the studio here in Garden City, Michigan. I'm your host, Derek, alongside my two co-hosts. Welcome back, Mr. Chad. How's it going, man?
Good to be back.
Feeling a little bit better after that
I'm
flu bug?
feeling absolutely wonderful now.
Awesome. Great to hear. And Mr. Dan Bartley himself, how's it going, my man?
Peaches and cream.
Yeah.
Every week.
Oh, man, this is, I feel like it's been kind of like a chilly week. It's been kind of a long
Winter's
week.
here.
It's supposed to be colder next
It is
week,
gonna,
too.
yeah, this polar vortex that they've been talking about might be making an appearance again this winter.
This is good.
We had some snow a few days ago. Some, not really that much.
I got
in
to
the
work the other
stick.
night. My windshield was like really frost.
Yeah.
So it was just...
I know I'm going to that the Light Fest in Hines tomorrow night, but was kind of
lights.
hoping for some snow.
It's the same show every year.
I haven't.
They added light or two.
Yeah.
Come on now, Chad.
My bad, guys.
They added what? What they add?
They add a light or two. Come on now.
They say that they have over 43 lights. Or,
Actually, I took
objects.
Hines to the last Lions game I went to because 96 was closed between Telegraph and whatever.
Okay.
And I saw the whole light show without them lit up, so I already know what it's all about. Got there. Through there for free, drove through it a little bit faster.
You go from like Westland all the way to Dearborn Heights. So, I mean, it's like a 3-mile drive or so. But, I mean, you're going like 20 miles an hour, so you're going
takes you
slow.
a while.
Am I the only one that gets pissed off that people actually put their full lights on?
Yes. That's obnoxious.
I feel like...
And don't be a stupid.
You don't need your lights on at all, and if you do, just put on your parking lights.
parking lights, yeah. People that put on
lights.
not their high beams, but people that turn their headlights
It's so
on.
bright down there with all the lights
I
because it's
know.
right next to the road.
And cars are
yeah.
literally running in front of the other, so parking lights are perfect. I mean, you get your braking lights and everything, but I mean, yeah, there's no reason. I hate when people do that. Like, it's the lights illuminate the road as is. So
Especially with those new LED lights the newer cars have. Those are like brights.
Yeah,
oh, they are.
it's
They are. You can
ridiculous.
never tell anymore. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, the holiday season's upon us. Pearl Harbor today.
Yeah.
75 years has it been already?
It was on TV today. I did
75 years later.
I always watch that movie once a year.
Yeah,
So
it's a good movie. Yeah.
Yeah, there's that. There
Did a
was
good job
Tora. There was
Tora was good.
yeah, that was
on earlier today too.
Yep. But yeah, Pearl Harbor.
They'll be on all weekend if you didn't catch them today.
Yeah.
You got the Christmas movies coming on.
Oh yeah, I just
ABC.
recorded a whole bunch of the Hallmark movies.
For some reason, Harry Potter's always showing on Christmas time. I don't get it.
Yeah,
I thought
like
that'd be more of a
Harry Potter.
Halloween like thing.
No.
Harry Potter, a
Lord of the
Charlie
Rings
Christmas
too.
story?
I was in training today in Grand Blanc, and our instructor actually says that he and his wife watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy every Christmas.
Harry Potter is always on the 25 Days of Christmas.
I don't
on
know why.
ABC.
Yeah, I don't know what because it's wizards and lights and stuff, magic. I don't know. Magical times of the year. I don't know if that's
I
what
don't
ties
get it.
in.
Why?
I mean, it's cool because I like the Harry Potter movies, but I don't get it.
I'll pass on Harry
Well, stay
Potter.
tuned for next week as we give our favorite Christmas movies.
Yeah, right. We get closer. I thought we were going to maybe save that because let's see, the 21st, actually, we have a
That
show.
is sarcasm.
So. Well, I'm just saying.
But,
we can save that for the 21st.
Christmas movies and me.
You don't, so it's not like Halloween for you.
No, absolutely not.
Honestly,
I can only watch so many before
I can
I'm
watch
like,
some Christmas movies.
The only
That's no
two
problem.
that I need to watch every Christmas, or at least this time of the year, there's two movies. There's Elf and there's Santa Claus. Those are my
Can't
two
stand
favorite.
Elf.
Oh my god.
Elf is fun.
Elf is great. That's my favorite Will Ferrell movie.
The Santa
can't
Claus
stand Will
movies
Ferrell.
are good.
Yes, the Santa Claus.
Even
the
some
first
of
one.
those older movies they show on ABC, like Rudolph. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I watch those with my
Not a
brother.
Will Ferrell guy.
I'm not a Charlie Brown Christmas guy.
I never cared for
Frosty the
Charlie.
Snowman.
On Christmas, well, and even so, the whole
Jack Frost is a good movie.
yeah,
I like Jack Frost.
the non-killer snowman one, the one with Michael
Yeah,
Keaton.
yeah.
I do like both, but the killer, the one with the killer snowman is a Halloween flick.
That's awesome.
It's a good movie. Yeah, it is. But what was the other ones? Yeah, you got the Santa Claus, but then of course you got the older movies that they show, like It's a Wonderful Life. They show that on Christmas Eve.
I know what this movie is, but it's in my head.
Christmas Story.
No, I can't get it out. It's where the kid's father dies and he becomes a snowman. He's a hockey player.
Jack Frost.
That's Jack Frost.
And he's like, yeah, whatever.
That's Jack Frost.
I can't think of it.
We just talked about that.
I could have swore, yeah, that's a good movie. That's the one with Michael Keaton.
That's Jack Frost?
Yes.
Yeah.
He
I
dies.
thought that was something else.
He dies in a car
He's a
crash.
musician.
No, that is one movie that I can tolerate. Besides
Yes.
that,
It's a sad movie, but it's a good movie.
it's not sad.
No,
He just likes it because hockey's in
No,
it.
it's sad.
Exactly.
No, it's sad because the dad becomes a snowman and spirit goes up to
And he
heaven.
melts.
Hey, he melts too.
Snowman
it's kind of a
melts.
cute
It's like the Pizza
story.
Hut
No,
commercial with the
it's-
Xbox.
yeah,
Or what
it's
about
emotional.
Jingle All the Way with Arnold? You know,
Yeah, that's a good
Turbo
one, too.
time.
It's turbo time.
Yeah.
Hey, man, like Jenny Christmas, man. Hey, Bird Landry. Like him and Sinbad in that movie.
That
It's a good team.
was
in
a
that
good movie.
But I never got into the Christmas Story, the 24 hours marathon of Christmas Story that they show all day Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't like I'm not a big
I've
Christmas
watched
Story
it.
fan.
It's alright.
It's overrated. I just don't get the whole hoopla over that, you know. But
Old fashioned movie.
it's from like the early '80s, and I to this
It's a
day,
classic, Derek.
it's been on TBS, and it's been on for the last 10 years, 24 hours a day, and I've yet to see the entire movie from beginning to end.
I just can't watch.
I know he wants a Red
24
Ryder
hours
BB
of-
gun.
I
That's
mean,
about all I
I'm
know.
watching
Yeah.
the NBA games on Christmas Day.
and then bowl games.
Bowl games, Christmas Eve.
Yeah, Michigan
plays on my birthday
Yeah,
this year.
30th.
Michigan plays on my birthday this year, so everybody remember that. When you wish
8
me a
p.m.
happy birthday, make sure that you watch the Michigan game as you wish me a happy birthday.
Can we go ahead and get Michigan out of the way? Obviously, they're going to the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
Do you think that was what they deserved? I think it's a pretty decent bowl to go to. It's a former BCS
They'll
bowl.
destroy Florida State.
They should.
Florida State is
They
a rookie
should.
quarterback.
They're going to be playing pissed off, and they're going to have enough time. Everybody's going to be on fire. Especially, I was kind of shocked. I didn't think that Old Peppers was going to be a finalist for the Heisman.
Yeah, I was
Could
shocked
be.
too.
Shouldn't.
Should not be a fan.
Why?
No,
is that?
his stats didn't match up.
He's not
Not to the
any
other guy.
I think-
caliber stats.
Well, he's not like
that
Charles.
anybody
Yeah, he
else
didn't live up to the Charles Woodson analogy. They
Well,
compared
that's
him
hard
to
to
Charles
do, and
Woodson.
that wasn't going to be my make or
He
break. whether
played
he should be in the
15
Heisman
positions
race,
or something,
but
but
Well, it's good for him. Then
Peppers
his
tailed off towards
value
the
he
end.
had 3 sacks, 1 interception, 170 or 270 scrimmage yards on offense.
Did
I
he
mean,
did he
just-
get it mostly on his punt returns?
His punt returns were good, but that's not a reason to make the Heisman. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't really know what made him stand out that much. I mean, he's a
because
good
he can
defensive
play so
cover.
many positions, and
I think
because
he's
and I think that's values
utility man.
as far
He
as
was very good
his
at
career
he was
concerned.
good at every position, but he wasn't. He's only great at returner. That's
Yeah.
about it. But
Will he
As far
make
as
it-
his
will-
NFL stock goes, though, if
will
you
he
can
make
play
it?
multiple positions, I guess that's valuable for his NFL stock.
it'll be
but-
interesting to see what position he plays in the NFL. My guess would be nickel corner or in safety packages. I don't know if he's an every down player.
Do you think he'll make it in the NFL?
I don't think he'll be very
Charles Woodson sure made it.
Yeah, but Charles Woodson was better.
He was.
I don't see him
Jabril
being an impact
Peppers,
player in the NFL.
he'll be a returner, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He can be an impact returner, but in
Do you
terms
think
of
he
being
could ever make it as a running back?
No, he'd be a slot receiver, but his hands aren't the best. My guess is he'll be a package, a nickel corner, or a dime safety, something like that. Unless he really proves he can do something else, but I don't know. Time will tell.
Were we all pretty satisfied with the final playoff outcome? The 4 teams that were chosen. Do you think that any reason for Penn State to sneak in there? I don't think so. I think they had them just where they should have. Michigan went up 7th, I believe.
As much as adversity as that was and well talked about, it was
Iowa killed them. Iowa was the nail in the coffin. I think that cost Michigan the spot.
Michigan
you could have still afforded a loss to Ohio State and made the playoff.
I agree.
I believe that it would have happened because you beat.
I don't think so.
Because you beat Penn State and Wisconsin, which is really.
That's the problem with playing Ohio State the last week of the season. I mean, if that's your last game and you lose, you're not making the playoffs.
Really?
No.
Even though they had that loss against Iowa, they still were 5th out of 4.
It's only because they beat Penn State and Wisconsin.
Which is what I don't like, and this is why we wanted to have you, because we were talking about this last week about having the Big Ten championship game not even mean anything anymore.
Conference championships don't mean anything, but that's the thing. The playoff, as soon as they made it a 4-team playoff, that the committee basically said we don't care about conference championships.
That's why it needs to be 8. I really believe it needs to be 8. Do you agree, or is that too much?
Oh, I'd rather have 8.
Yeah. You get a more fair representation.
What I wanted from the beginning is if you have 8 playoff teams, you can put all 5 major conference champions in, and then you have the 3 next best. You give Western a chance when they're undefeated. They're an undefeated MAC team. That's when Michigan can make it. And, when Ohio State can make it because they're not a champion, obviously. It was Penn State. And
now Western's, they're going to end up facing a very, very hungry Wisconsin team.
Yeah, Wisconsin's probably going to beat them.
That's the Cotton Bowl.
10 or 14 points. Western hasn't seen a defense like that. That's the problem.
Yeah. That's when you compare the MAC conference.
Western's undefeated.
They almost had a hiccup against Ohio.
They played Toledo. Toledo's a good team. Mm-hmm. But, the best teams they played out of conference was, Northwestern. Mm-hmm. Fine, that's a 6-6 team. Good, you beat them on the road by a touchdown or whatever it was. But, they haven't played someone that's at Wisconsin caliber, But, as far as the playoff goes, I still expect Alabama to win it all. Alabama, Ohio State in the finals.
No, Clemson.
Dude, Clemson's not good. If it were up to me, Clemson would have made the playoffs because I think they're fraudulent.
Who would you put instead of Clemson then?
Instead of Clemson? My playoff personally would have...
You're going to say
it'd be Penn State or Michigan.
Really?
And you can make the debate on whatever you want, whether Penn State should get in because they're champions or because Michigan beat them 49-10. That's up for a different
I'm not taking
debate.
anything away from Penn State. They were a much different team when they lost to Michigan. It was a blowout.
They
woke up.
They're a good football team.
They won out, basically. After that loss to Michigan, they won out.
Problem with Clemson to me is they are in a weak conference and their defense still struggled to stop the teams in their conference. I wouldn't be surprised if Ohio State rolled them. I really wouldn't. Even with Watson being a Heisman caliber quarterback, it still wouldn't surprise me if Ohio State goes out there and beats them 48-31 or something like that. I just don't think Clemson has the defense to stop people.
They barely held on against Virginia Tech.
Right.
Virginia Tech's a pretty weak team, in my opinion. So, you look at Clemson right now, and right now, what's the favorable odds right now? Because it looks like Ohio State's probably favored in this game by what, field goal?
I don't know. I can check really quick.
So they're playing in Glendale. They're playing at University of Phoenix Stadium. So this is the Fiesta Bowl. Then this is technically the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah.
So you could potentially win 2 bowl games here.
That's what it is. You win a bowl game and then you win the national championship.
Well, or you go to the national championship.
Well, yeah, but the winner of the national championship ultimately wins 2 bowl games.
So so it's Ohio State versus Clemson, and then
Bama versus.
They don't have a spread on the game yet.
No, it's too early. It's pretty.
If I had to guess, though, my guess would be Ohio State by 3 or 5. It takes. Alabama will probably be 10-point favorites
against Washington.
Yeah, Bama's going to probably wipe the floor with them.
Yeah, and that's the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. What's up with this? Yeah. So why are they doing why are they just going to random bowls? I don't get this.
I don't know why they do it. Who's
going to the Rose Bowl? Has anybody gone to the Rose Bowl?
It's Penn State and USC.
Oh, see, I was hearing that there was, before everything went down, I was hearing it could be USC versus Western.
No, the Rose Bowl is always Big Ten, Pac-12.
Yeah, Big Ten, Pac-12. That's right. Unless could USC have gone to the Cotton Bowl?
I mean, they could have because it's not arranged for a certain conference, but you'd still need to pack. Then it would have been Colorado in the Rose Bowl instead of USC.
So is there a Sugar Bowl? Is there a Sugar Bowl teams yet?
I mean, all the bowls are announced. I just don't know what bowl the Sugar Bowl is.
I want to see, because, I mean, are they still technically BCS
Sugar
bowls?
Bowl might be the Oklahoma-Auburn.
Yep, Oklahoma and Auburn, which Oklahoma should win that game.
You would think.
Yeah, that'll be in a second. But, yeah, it's going to be weird to see Michigan playing on a Friday night.
Well, they don't want – it's all messed up this year because the NFL's playing – well, they're playing January 1st, Sunday. And
stay away from the NFL.
Well, after the bad views last year because they had the playoff games like New Year's Eve last year,
the national
they got bad ratings, so they're not playing anyone on New Year's Eve this year.
I don't like how the national championship's so far into January. It's January 9th this year, and I feel like it needs to be like no later than January 3rd.
Well, because now they're playing the playoff games after New Year's, aren't they? Isn't the playoff games January 2nd or 3rd?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, because the second is the. Let's see here. You got Bama.
And then the 3rd is probably Ohio State, Clemson.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then the next Saturday or Monday.
Alabama plays Washington on New Year's Eve.
Oh, really?
Yes.
They kept it there. Okay.
Yep, at 3 o'clock. A very odd time for New Year's Eve because you have hockey games going on New Year's Eve, and then also, is there anything else going on? Is there any?
Oh, more people will watch college football than hockey.
Well, yeah, of course.
Unfortunately for us hockey buffs, but I'm sure if there is a hockey game, it's not going to start until 7.
Yeah, hockey games won't start early.
Yeah.
So you're not going to have it.
I don't know. I'm just never been a big fan of like playing the national championship game so late in January. Like it just no later than the 3rd or the 4th. I mean, basically the second week of January. It's too much hype. I feel like for that game. But overall, are you a fan? Are you a fan more of the playoff, or are you a fan of the old system?
Old system.
No, I like the playoff better. I just wish the playoff was formatted better. Because the old system was bad, too. I didn't like the old system either.
The way that they try to make it with every sport so appealing to new fans that they make so many different changes. That
they need a playoff. They just need a more exciting playoff format. That's the problem.
No, they're playing. Clemson and Ohio State are also playing on New Year's Eve. So all the playoff games are on New Year's Eve.
Again, I thought they changed that.
So that's so weird.
Ratings were bad last year.
You got to wait 9. Were they on New Year's Eve last year?
Yeah.
So you got to wait 9 days to play in the national championship.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like the Super Bowl, though. The Super Bowl's a 2-week period from the championship, conference championship to the Super Bowl.
All you do is practice and you trash talk each other.
Well, it's because there's media days and stuff like that too. So
I'm saying it's going to be Clemson, Alabama. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going with Clemson, Alabama. I think Clemson's going to pull the upset.
I think we can all agree Alabama's going to win it all, though.
Yeah.
Bama's got it.
There's nobody that. I mean, honestly,
no one can contest.
Alabama, they're not vulnerable. I mean, they haven't been vulnerable in 2 or 3 years.
Great to see them lose.
Are they going for this is their second straight or third straight?
Second. They lost to Ohio State 2 years ago.
That's right. But I mean, if you look at it, their only competition was LSU. That 10, and they beat them 10-0. No team has really. And Ole Miss gave them a run in week 3. They won 48-43. But other than that,
Alabama will be fine.
They're cruising. Mm-hmm. They have no competition. So, yeah, Alabama. I hate Nick Saban as much as I hate Nick Saban. Man, he's built something special over there.
We can come back to that in January.
Yeah,
next year.
Yeah.
Goodness.
What to predict for Michigan in 2017-18? It's going to be something because
Morris is leaving.
Yeah. Sugar
cares about Morris?
Who cares?
I mean, Space just he's a redshirt sophomore.
He's coming back, right?
Junior, yeah, he's back. So he's our quarterback.
Spade will be, he'll be working on some of his mechanics. I think he'll come back better next year. Just stay healthy. Peppers is coming back too, right?
He hasn't decided.
I bet he goes for the draft.
No, he's eligible to leave, but he's not a senior. He can stay if he wants to.
Is he a junior?
Yeah, he's a redshirt junior, I think.
Oh, wow.
I bet you he goes for the draft.
He probably will. That's where the money's at.
You think?
But I mean, Michigan.
He'll get drafted probably in the 4th.
They have a lot of good guys coming in, but they're losing a lot of people. That whole defense is going to be gone pretty much.
They're losing Jake Butt too.
You're losing Butt, Chesson, and Darbo.
Yeah.
So there's your top 3 offensive
You
receivers.
better have a good recruiting class.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
You're losing Smith, the running back. I think Isaac's leaving too. So I mean, you're losing a lot of people. Some of that offensive line. So there's a lot of turnover this year.
But they're going to all want to come and play for Harbaugh because they still think he's hot. So
we still got a lot. Yeah, we got a lot of people coming in. So we'll be all right.
Harbaugh factor that everybody talks about.
Hey, it works.
You can argue and say that Jim Harbaugh is still the best, coach in the nation, but it's hard to.
I wouldn't say he's the best coach in the
He's
nation.
not the best coach.
Big Ten, yes.
He might be one of the best recruiters in the
Yes.
nation in terms of getting people to come to the college, and that's why his system works in college. I mean, the way he is, he yells, he gets in your face. That runs dry in the NFL. If I'm getting paid $50 million, I'm not taking it from you. College kids are going to take it because they know he'll get them to the NFL.
Now, I know we never really talk about Michigan State, but this was something, I don't know if any of you guys heard this on I-71. I don't want to steal Mike Valenti's little question here, but when I was...
PJ Fleck question?
Yeah, were you listening to this?
Yeah.
PJ Fleck versus Mark D'Antonio. Now, the question was proposed to the listeners, and I'm going to propose it to you guys, because I had my answer. And the question was, would you rather sign Mark D'Antonio for 10 more years with the unquestionable outcome of what you might have, because you got to remember the guy is 62
62 or something like that.
He's
62 years
aging,
old,
and he doesn't
Yes.
have. How many years can he possibly have?
Well, that's the thing, but this
He's
is
not
a 10
Rick Pitino.
either 10 years more of Mark D'Antonio with the you want to have the thought process that he might have another run left in him in the next 3 or 4 years, or you have him either retire or fired, and you sign PJ Fleck.
I don't think you fire
They
him.
never
because
will fire him.
I don't
He's
think you
basically
can
been
fire
the
him.
best coach in the
Yeah.
history of
You
that
fire
program.
him.
Coming
and
from a
that's
Michigan fan, you
slap
want
in
to
the
keep
face.
D'Antonio, and I agree. It would suck because he'd be 71 years old by the time that contract ran out.
I don't know.
You can't break it. It's a no-break contract, so you have to run it out.
I'd take Fleck because I don't want D'Antonio for 10 years. I mean,
From a Michigan fan,
I mean,
you do.
I mean, Valenti kind of brought it up in terms of he hasn't really changed his ways. He's not
No.
adapting. So, like,
And his recruiting classes have not really.
it's running dry a little bit there because he hasn't changed his ways.
You're not going to return to that 2013 season. I mean,
But the same hands, I mean, Fleck's done great with Western, but it's a whole different ballgame when you
It's a
get into
flash in the
major
pan, though.
conferences.
He's in the
people
map,
are saying that he's
so
ready
it's-
for the NFL. Like, get out of
No,
here!
no, he's not ready for the NFL.
They're
but
talking about him moving to a big job. Oregon. Oregon just
I think
got a
that'd
coach
be a
today.
good job to take.
But the Oregon just filled their spot. But if he goes to one of these big schools,
You gotta work your way
And
up.
I'm not saying he'll do bad if he goes to a major conference. I'm just saying it's a different ball game.
If you're a guy like PJ
so-
Fleck, though, do you want to take over a team that's already kind of proven? You don't want a team that you have to.
See, I think
rebuild.
Michigan State had more of a fluke year this year.
You
I don't
think?
think they'll ever get back to their,
I expect them
championship
to
status.
win.
I expect between 7 and 9 games,
Well,
though.
that's what I'm saying. I think I expect them to win 7 this year. I think 7 and 5 is a pretty solid rebound season.
well, they have to get something established with a quarterback position. Obviously, with Connor Cook, obviously is long gone, but they lost a lot of things.
I feel like Fleck would be better in the ACC because the Big Ten is still. Some of it's still a zone scheme shotgun like Ohio State, but half the teams still run, their power system like Michigan. And what you see at Western is more of that spread offense, and the ACC runs that a lot more. I think if he could wait a year, like Mike said, go to Tennessee or, a job like that opened up where, the ACC, it's competitive, but it's not as competitive as the Big Ten,
I can see him.
What if he goes somewhere, though, and gets completely shelved? What if he goes over there and just gets...
Then he
I
restarts.
can see him
apart
going.
for him.
I can see him going to one of the Florida teams. I can see him going to either Miami or Florida State. I think that would be probably.
I think
No,
if-
he won't go Florida State.
You don't think?
No.
What about Miami?
Miami maybe, but who's the Florida State's coach?
I think, but though he's making a good living
not
in
leaving.
Kalamazoo. Why? I'm sure he's
Jimbo
going to get. I'm
Fisher.
sure he's going to get a nice, big, hefty raise in the office.
And he hasn't taken any interviews or anything yet. Like
No.
he hasn't done anything in terms of looking for another job yet. But I mean, he can stay, but. It's kind of like when players are presented with the opportunity to go to the NFL draft, like Jabril Peppers. Maybe you stay a year, your draft stock goes up a little more, or you get hurt and you fall because people don't know how good you're going to be after an injury. Well, it's kind of a little Fleck. I just went 12-0 with a MAC team, and we killed it. And what happens in this bowl game will be really telling what happens in the future for Fleck. But
Going for that 13-0.
if you go 13-0, or even if you lose a close game to Wisconsin and still finish 12-1, no big deal. You're going to get a couple big money opportunities at some big schools.
Oh, he's
now,
the most sought after coach right
will the
now.
stakes be high? Absolutely.
Yes, they will.
But you know what? If kind of like Mike said, if you think you can survive that job, 3 years of pay out of maybe the 4 or 5 years they sign you, you're still set and you can still go restart somewhere else if you do fail.
True.
I like the way Fleck coaches. He's young, he's loud, he
fires you up, man.
He gets the boat. He gets his players going, and it's better than some old guy that D'Antonio that's quiet. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure coaches get their teams fired up in their own way.
Doors. Yeah,
but you know what? When you're a team that's not good and you've been bad for a while. Not that Western's been bad, but. Sometimes you need that fiery coach. And I kind of go back to the example of Jim Schwartz when he was with the Lions. Everyone knew that he wasn't going to be the coach to take us to the Super Bowl, but Jim Schwartz was definitely the right coach to take us from bottom feeders to middle of the pack.
He's definitely still more motivating than Jim Caldwell will ever be.
Absolutely.
Caldwell has probably a better team more on paper.
But you know what Jim Schwartz did? He got team fired up.
Yep.
Yeah, we took personal fouls. We did some stupid things in game that reflected his personality. But you needed that when you're trying to go from 0-16 back to relevance. You need a fiery coach like that gets you pissed off and you want to play and kick someone's ass.
And I respect what Jim Schwartz did. I feel like for what he had and what he had to work with, I think he did a pretty damn good job here.
This turnaround we're on right now. Start with Jim Schwartz.
Jim Schwartz, yeah, he built this team. This is still kind of his team that he built. So in my opinion, yeah, you got to owe Jim Schwartz some credit for it. And he also ended our playoff drought.
Yep.
So, you can attest to Jim Caldwell leading us to the playoffs in his first season a couple years ago, but that was Jim Schwartz's team that he built, and it's still with him. So, and we got rid of a lot of key pieces too because of Jim Schwartz. And now we look as we segue now into Lions talk. I guess we'll touch on Red Wings and Tigers after this, but kind of segueing into Lions talk here though. The big question is with Calvin gone, now we're winning. What's the big difference? What did Calvin not do enough to get this team playing the way they are now? I mean, is it really a lot of Calvin?
It's an indirect fault of Calvin's in terms of did any of you see the interview with Stafford?
Yes.
Okay, so they basically asked him what's it like or what did you have to change, and he's like, when you have a receiver like Calvin, you feel guilty if you don't give him the ball. You feel like you have to give him the ball. You force him the ball sometimes. Now that I have just a bunch of playmakers, I'm forced to go through my reads. I have to look at the defense and I distribute to the open person and stuff like that. It's so basically he's not feeling forced to get any certain guy on our offense the ball right now. He's just doing what what the play's designed to do, find the open guy and let him do his thing. And it's not that Calvin was bad or anything like that, because obviously he's one of the best receivers of our time, but it just shows you one-star players not going to totally reflect the success of your team,
Yeah, and really from where we're at right now, I mean, would Calvin fit on this team right now? Even if we would have had the same roster, there's been talks that people want to send out, letters to Calvin. Hey, we're making a playoff.
I saw that, and I would not want to bring him back.
No, I wouldn't either. Where would you slot him in at?
As good as a player as he is, and he probably still could be, that's throwing a wrench into your offense, because all of a sudden now you want to design plays for him, and then Stafford's going to go back to trying to force him the ball. Do what we're doing. Okay, our offense hasn't been great in all the games. But
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Stafford's got 21 touchdowns with 5 interceptions. We're scoring.
He'll probably get 30 by the end of the year.
Oh, I'm sure. But the thing is our offense is fine. We're a little inconsistent at times, but
the offensive line's given Stafford more time.
The offensive line has been better, but
definitely.
I would not bring him back because I did see those things, and like I said, he wasn't a bad player. We're just playing differently without him, and schematically, it's working.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now with what we have, it's working and showing the dominance that we were able to play 4 perfect quarters against the Saints.
That's our best game we played all season. It might be the best game we played in the last couple seasons.
Coming from behind
it's not even arguable. It definitely was.
We actually won a game. We were winning the whole game.
It definitely was, and I feel like that's just going to attest to what we've been working on, and we're going back to basics. We didn't have as many penalties. We cut those out. Special teams played great. Matt Prater had a career high.
Defense was sensational.
Matt Prater 5 field goals.
Yeah, give Terrell Austin some credit. Wow. And Jim Caldwell. I mean, they prepared this defense, who is, like I said earlier, all 3 of our starting linebackers from the beginning of the season are out. Van Noyes in New England, Levy and Whitehead were out. Whitehead's our leading tackler on defense. You have a D-line that still, in all the games, did not get a lot of pressure. It's been one of the worst pressure ratings in the league when we rush forward. They were in Drew Brees' face all day. We only had 1 sack, but they put pressure on Drew Brees. He didn't have all day to throw. He did a couple times, but that happens every game. But, I mean, our defense has played well. Our special teams has played well. And for once, all three of our teams played consistently together. We scored on offense. Now, the thing you want to do maybe more is score touchdowns instead of 5 field goals. Maybe turn 2 or 3 of those field goals into touchdowns. But, the defense played well. You held Drew Brees, one of the best quarterbacks in the league last 10 years. He's had 60 straight games with a touchdown pass at home. We ended that streak. He threw 3 interceptions. Granted, one was on a last play desperate throw, which didn't matter, but we picked it off. So it's no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. We tackled. Their run game wasn't great. I mean, we played well. And
you can't play more of a better game than the Lions put against the Saints. The defense deserves the most credit, I think, is if you're able to hold Drew Brees, like you said,
absolutely,
to very dismal numbers. That's a win-win. I think that solidifies you now. As
how much confidence
you're
does
not
that
a pretender.
give a
You're a contender now. That solidifies you. And I was a little bit concerned going this game. The Lions would go in there and it'd be the SOL.
I didn't think they'd win.
Were concerned about. I didn't think that they were going to win either. I thought it would be a close game and the Lions would drop the game in the fourth quarter. They would fall just short of winning because it would be the Drew Brees show and Matthew Stafford would be good, but he wouldn't be able to get over the hump of winning the game. Winning that game Sunday, now I'm buying in. I'm pushing all my chips to the table.
I know you are.
Listen, you can see.
But if you go in there Sunday and you crap the bet against the Bears,
it raises questions.
Then you're like, what?
You're not going to say SOL. But
New Orleans was 5-6, fine, but they had the number 1 offense in the NFL.
They've had
a road game against any team besides maybe the 49ers and the Browns is tough in the NFL.
And their 6 games, and their 6 games have all been against tough opponents that they've lost to. I mean, their record might not exactly reflect on how well they played before they faced us, but I mean, you could easily flip flop that record. You could say instead of being 5-6,
New Orleans lost a couple close games.
Yeah, they have.
Season.
But if you really, I watched this game and I feel like a guy that was kind of the unsung hero. I mean, yeah, you can make a case for Prater, but I think Miles Killebrew is starting to come in. He's
playing well.
He got his very first interception of the season. He's played really, really good coverage as far as covering tight ends, which is something that the Lions have lacked in previous years. He's playing a huge role.
Well, here's what's different, and I find this, I found this hard to believe when they first said it, but when I thought about it, kind of this season we've become the team that's missed has not missed any tackles. We have the least amount of missed tackles in the league right now.
And that was our Achilles heel for years.
Terrible. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So, I mean, I give this defense credit. They're playing well. Mm-hmm. Our rookies are playing well. Our rookies have played a key role this year in offensive line.
Washington.
I mean, our 7th-round running back, Killebrew, Robinson. I mean, give Bob Quinn some credit. First draft, and I mean, his guys are making some noise, so that's good.
They're making him look like a genius. There's no doubt about that. Now, when you look ahead now to this Sunday against the Bears, which you're favored by quite a bit, you should win this game.
7.5, yeah.
For me, who do you think your breakout star should be? I think it should be Theo Riddick. I think Theo Riddick is a guy that's been kind of missing. He's been MIA lately. I think it's fair to say. I think he's probably one of the best pass catchers out in the backfield. You kind of got to get him back in this game. You got to kind of have him, because in the past, he's got 219 all-purpose yards against Chicago in his career, but he hasn't gotten a touchdown against them. But I feel like you got to kind of get him moving forward to kind of get him gelling. You got to get him to kind of go off against the Bears this weekend.
Riddick, yeah, but I mean, he's been fine to me. To me, I want to see, if Marvin Jones plays, I want to see him. He's been pretty quiet since the beginning of the year.
We saw, he was the guy that I actually picked in the preseason to be.
I mean, he's still got 730 yards on 42 receptions.
But then you got Anquan Bolden, who's got 7 touchdowns?
That's got 6. But that was my prediction.
Red zone.
10,
Red zone. That's why.
I'd like to see Marvin Jones or Ebron go off. I want to see one of them go over 100 yards against the Bears this week.
That's a bold.
Mind you, the Bears' defense, passing defense, is actually one of it's top half of the league. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you can go in and say, oh, well, they mopped the floor with, San Fran, but then
San Francisco's a train wreck.
That was nothing. I mean, you should be beating the shit out of San Francisco, a team that's just completely lost it since Harbaugh left. But
what do you think about this though? We went from, the first 4 weeks of the season saying we want Jim Caldwell out of here.
Yeah,
we want him gone.
1-3. Now you've won 4 straight.
Now he's
forced to reckon with. Jim Caldwell is a candidate for Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Now,
what a last laugh that would be.
I haven't said that before in my life.
I wouldn't give it to him because...
What a way to eat our words.
Right now, I'd give it to Jack Del Rio, the Raiders, because 10-2. But Caldwell would be my second to hit.
If there was a coach, well, there's a coach of the year. Is it only for the entire league, right?
It's one, yeah.
If there was an NFC and AFC, NFC would be Caldwell hands down.
I thought about this question. My 4 candidates that I came up with were Del Rio in Oakland, who would be my favorite.
That's got to be your leading
Caldwell
go-getter.
with the Lions, Garrett with Dallas, and the only reason I have Caldwell ahead of Jason Garrett is because even though they were 4-12 last year, riddled with injuries. If their guys were healthy, they weren't going to finish 4-12. They'd probably been 8-8, 10-6, something like that. So that's why Garrett would be third, and then fourth, I'd give it to Tampa Bay's coach, Greg or Dave Try, whatever his first name is. But that team was bad last year. They're sitting 7-5. They've won 4 straight, and they're sitting in a wild card spot. So those would be my 4 guys.
Just a real quick breaking news alert for the Lions. You had just mentioned that he went down with injury, but Brandon Pettigrew just got released.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, Brandon Pettigrew, yep. The Free Press just broke the story about
Former
10 minutes ago.
first-round pick.
Yep, former first-round pick in 2009. He no longer has a locker in Allen Park. They've cleaned out his locker. So, it's kind of bittersweet because he's still 31. I mean, he's got some playing time left. He's kind of dwindling down a little bit, but he was the 20th overall pick by the Lions in 2009, and he's played 93 regular season career games, 301 career passes for 2,965 yards and 17 touchdowns. So, respectable numbers for the team he played for. But there was a time just a couple years ago that Pettigrew was a
You're
force
expecting
be
him to
reckoned
be a
with.
lot bigger impact player than he was. And he just didn't
Yeah,
quite
but when
know
they
that.
drafted Ebron, you kind of knew Pettigrew
He took
was
a back
kind
seat.
of,
He took a back seat to Ebron. You knew that. They went with
And
the
Ebron
youth.
actually has shown a lot of improvement this year, so they're obviously comfortable with him going forward.
But I think right now, when you go into this week against the Bears, you can't let your guard down.
Well, I think you need another win, sort of like you had against New Orleans. You need to dominate all 3
You can't
phases
slow
against a
down.
bad football
Yeah.
team.
And
Don't
if you-
don't let up because this division
Yeah.
race is not over.
If you show any signs of taking 2 steps forward against the Saints and then taking 3 steps back against the Bears, you can't do that because, in my opinion, I'm going out on a limb. And you could say it's a ballsy prediction, but if you win against the Bears, I'm locking up the division after this weekend. That's just me.
You're booking them tickets to the
I'm gonna book.
game,
I'm booking my tickets. I mean, I'm probably not gonna go, but I mean, I think
mean,
that
that'd be a nice price
I
tag.
think it's safe to say at 9-4, you pretty much, because I just don't have the confidence in. I'm not worried right now about the Vikings. The only team I'm worried about right now is Green Bay because, as you attested to, Chad, in the pre-show, is that the Lions do have the hardest schedule moving forward.
out of the division,
you got
teams,
out of the
the
division
5th
teams.
hardest schedule remaining. in
You
the
got
league.
Dallas, which is going to either be a close game or it's going to be potentially a blowout. I don't think it will be, but. And then you got a Giants team who you said they're fraudulent. They're a fraudulent 7-5 team.
They're like they're poor man's Lions in my, their defense is all right. They just lost Jason Pierre-Paul for 6 weeks or whatever. But Eli Manning, his numbers haven't been great. Offensively, they've struggled. They cannot score, and it's only going to get worse as the elements get worse. And that's a game in New York. Even though they're home, it's going to be outside. It's going to be cold, and
Out of
our defense is playing well. I mean, they're not a bad football team. I just don't think they're great. I think Washington's better than them, even though New York's in second place. It'll be interesting to see what they do against Dallas, though. I mean, they're the only team to beat Dallas so far.
They are at home, and like you said, outside, they're going to be outdoors, right? So with that, they're actually there's a poll right now that's saying 53% is going in favor of the Giants. I don't know. If
I think New York can win this week.
I
do.
they
I mean, it's kind of like with
it's
Detroit.
not going to really help or hurt us.
Dallas
No,
is
not really.
Dallas is bound to lose a game before the end of the season. I think. I mean, they've
I'll take a
won
loss to
10
them
or
if I
11
can beat them in
straight.
the playoffs.
Detroit, they're bound to lose a game or two still. I don't see them.
They're not winning out.
They're-
I just don't.
They've
think
won
they
7
will.
of their last 8. They should win this one, but they're going to drop a game to New York or Dallas, one of the two. And then
So you
Still
you said
thinking
you're
10
rolling with
wins.
I'm going 10-6. I do.
I think they'll finish 11-5. I still think they can finish 3-1.
Still looking for 10.
So you got them basically losing to either New York or Dallas.
Yeah, because I think we can beat Green Bay. Now I don't want it to come down
It's
to us beating
unfortunate
Green Bay to win the
that
division.
the two teams that have the better record or as good a record, we're going to be playing on the road. So you got New York and Dallas back to back on the road.
The one good thing for Detroit is, and I mentioned this weeks ago, is a lot of those wild card teams we have the tiebreaker on.
Mm-hmm.
So even if we were somehow to let Green Bay slide past us,
Yep, you got the Vikings, you got the Redskins.
yeah. So I mean, and beating New York would really help in that case too. But I think the Lions are only 2 wins away from locking up a playoff spot, whether it's wild card or division. So I think they need to beat the Bears. If they win their next 2, I think they're locked in.
I'll tell you, a division that's really up
race
for
to
grab
10.
is the NFC South, man, because that's really the Saints aren't out of the woods yet. They could still potentially. I mean, you got the Falcons and Bucks right now currently tied at 7-5, and you got the Saints back there at 5-7. If I were to predict, I'd say the Buccaneers are probably going to win that division because they've won 4 straight. But looking at the schedules, it's looking like probably the Saints right now. Let me see who they have here. They got
another one.
they got
Saints
Tampa
have
this
3 out of
weekend.
4 road games.
Yeah, they got Tampa, Arizona, and then they played Tampa 2 out of 3 weeks. So you have to win at least one of those.
They're going to have to beat Tampa.
Yeah, and then they got the Falcons. So yeah, it's not looking too favorable for the Saints.
I'd still think the Falcons will probably win that
You think
division.
so?
Yeah.
Falcons, let's see who they got. They got because you barely lost against the Chiefs. So that was going to be a tough game either way. But you got the 49ers. Well, you got the Rams and the 49ers, and then
Loss,
you got the Panthers.
Win. Yeah, they'll lose to the Panthers.
And then you got the Saints to close the season at home.
They'll win.
Okay.
So they'll finish 10-6.
Yeah. Right now, I mean, it's just you got to just play your own game.
They got to finish.
The Lions got to finish.
Keep doing what they're doing.
Yep, you got to play full. I mean, this weekend, do not take Chicago for granted because
I don't think they will, and I think it helps that we lost them before because they're
that
3-9,
was
8-4,
and both teams were different back then.
Yeah,
the Lions were a different team, and the Bears were
the
different.
Lions are going to want to show like, hey, we lost them, but
and you're at home.
This is a bad football team, and
Soldier Field can be somewhat hostile to play at, but you're at home, and there's no reason why you should lose this game.
No.
So, final score predictions. I'll start with Danny. Consider what they did against the Saints, and if they can keep it up.
32-17 Lions.
Okay.
31-13 Lions.
I'm going to go 34-13 Lions. I think it's going to be, they're going to mop the floor with them. I can see this as like a college
And
game.
watch the SOL Lions.
Please
on
do not.
Sunday.
Please don't prove us wrong.
You hope not. But it's one of those games where you're nervous because you're expected to beat the Bears, and no one expects you to beat the Saints last week.
No, not at all.
Look at the experts on ESPN. Not one of them picked the
They're
Lions.
all wrong.
No. And I love the Lions trolling them on Twitter.
That was
LOL.
great. I love the Lions Twitter pages
I
here.
know.
Whoever they got directing that crap now,
the
they are
trolling
just
and
trolling
savage.
everybody.
Yeah, I think right now, if you're in the social media and you have that job as a Lions social media or the
Have some
Snapchat
fun.
account, oh my
Be a
god,
troll
yes.
a little bit.
Oh, I would be.
Yeah.
Just keep it, PG. Don't go too far off the deep end because I mean, there's sometimes people that really get.
And there's
out of
somebody
control.
watching that Twitter feed.
Yeah, there is.
Might be a little higher up.
Exactly.
Yeah, speaking of that, did you see Louisville's official Twitter page actually
No.
promoted Jabril Peppers for the Heisman?
Really?
They actually tweeted him instead of Lamar Jackson.
Their own guy?
I didn't
Yeah.
see that. No.
Why?
It was an accident.
Oh, my
I mean,
God.
they changed it, but someone found it.
Oh,
and
of
was
course.
Like,
Maybe it was somebody
screenshotted
Maybe it was a
and
Michigan fan or something.
Right.
Why would you? How can you even accidentally put Jabril Peppers in for Heisman on your team's page?
It was just funny.
Oh well, but yeah, the Lions. Good luck to them on the way, but I'm gonna lay it all on the line.
Right now, they're the best team in Detroit, so we better hope they do
are.
well.
Who would have even thought that? I mean, right now, I'm not thinking Super Bowl by any means. I'm just thinking about a playoff victory. I want to get that. I want to get that first round bye. Chad, you might not like it, but I want less opponents to face.
Hey, let me clarify. I absolutely would not be mad if we got a first round bye.
No.
I'm a big believer in momentum,
Yeah.
and I don't want to put a hiccup into that momentum.
No, I hear you.
Because like I said, we don't have anyone that's, okay, Marvin Jones was out, Tier Whitehead was out, but I don't feel like a bye week is ultimately necessary for this team to get healthy and ready to go. I just want to keep rowing the boat, as they say in Kalamazoo.
Because we've seen what happened with Jacksonville. That was a bye week that, we came out.
It came out
flat.
slow,
Yeah,
and you've
exactly.
seen other teams come out slow. I mean, there's all the time you see a first or second seed lose, and they just look sloppy in their game. I mean, sometimes it's better to just keep playing. And in the Lions' instance, I think it's better for them to keep playing. But I mean, I wouldn't be mad if we got a first
A little
round
bit of
bye
rest,
by any
though,
means.
I think would.
Oh, and it's
not
never
hurt you.
bad. No,
Well, you're not going to be sitting for a month. You're going to be sitting for a week. I
no,
think,
not at all. But
with baseball, I think baseball might hurt you more than football.
Mm-hmm.
the good thing for the Lions, as I've noticed, is there's a lot of dome teams. Like all 3 out of the 4 division guys right now, Atlanta, Detroit, and Dallas, all indoor stadiums.
Yeah, you're going to be playing in nice 70-degree weather.
Yeah, Tampa Bay is down in Florida. Well, you wouldn't play in Tampa Bay anyway because they're 6th seed. But then Seattle's out west. Not that you really get snow in Seattle, but it's usually it's
Mild
rain if anything.
temperatures.
Yeah, it's
Very
not gonna be
mild.
super cold, you know.
Yep.
So that's good news too, since we're an indoor team.
Go Lions. And since Danny brought up baseball, let's go ahead and talk about that. We'll move right into Tigers winter meetings that pretty much took out without a hitch. No moves were made.
Not for your Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, the Detroit
But they
Tigers
came and went with a few
Yeah.
little moves
Mm-hmm.
within the division.
Yeah, within the division, obviously. I mean, you starting off with the White Sox making a blockbuster trade to Boston.
Chris Sale.
Chris Sale making that rotation a little bit more powerful. Still not really knowing what to expect as far as the postseason is concerned. If you're going to jump all the way
I still
to the
think it's
postseason-
overrated.
It is overrated. I'm not jumping on the
It's a
World
good move
Series
for Boston.
bandwagon.
I
It's
just
a-
think their team's overrated.
Yeah, it's a typical Dave Dombrowski move.
Boston's overrated as far as a team goes. I gotta second guess that a little
Look
bit.
what
I
happened
think
to them in the
Boston has
postseason.
one of the biggest futures going forward because
They-
it's not their starters, it's Betts. It's
Yeah, I still got
Bradley.
I
It's
put the
some of the
Yankees
young
ahead of
core.
them. I put the Yankees' future ahead of Boston right now. That's my opinion.
Yankees don't have any starting pitching.
They're going to make some adjustments. I mean, I don't know right now.
Yankees
if it's
lost
gonna-
their three-headed monster in the bullpen last year too.
That's why it's actually pivotal the Tigers get off to a fast start because Tigers do have starting pitching.
And that is why
drinking the Kool-Aid.
and that is why I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid like
You want them to make
pitcher.
one more run.
Why not?
Since they're not going to make any
and
moves.
here's why I want the Tigers to make a run. Everybody in the division is trading guys away. Obviously, with the White Sox, you lost Chris Sale. You lost Eaton. No side.
That's how you get eaten out.
No, I wasn't going to go there. But anywho,
Had to.
Sale's gone. The Indians.
Yeah, but we actually did good against Sale.
Yes, the Indians are good. Yes, I get that. I'm not going to second guess the Indians.
Indians
and
are
what
still
they're
going to be
gonna
at the
do.
top this
The Indians
year.
are going to probably try to make a move for a big bat, and so far so good. They haven't been able to acquire anyone. Obviously, the Twins, until they get some starting pitching and a few more bats, and if they trade Brian Dozier away, which they've been rumored to trading him away, you can write off the Twins for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
Also, Kansas City. Kansas City just traded away their closer, Wade Davis.
Yes. What a weird swap that was.
And they're going to end up probably losing their core. They're not going to be able to keep Moustakas and Hosmer
They're going to be towards the bottom again.
and Escobar. They're going to start losing pieces. Cleveland's going to unravel. Cleveland's unraveling as the bullpen's falling apart. That was their biggest strength. So now the Tigers have potentially one team who, in my eyes, it's a fluke. I don't think Cleveland is as good as what we've seen this year. I believe that
The Tigers made him look good.
Francona is a great manager, one of the best managers in baseball. I'm not going to second guess what Cleveland did this year, but I don't think Cleveland is as good as what you've seen this year.
Long term, you don't think they can
As far as
repeat?
long term goes, what you got guys who pitched out of their mind. You're going to have that World Series hangover, so Cleveland's going to get off to one of those starts that you're going to go, okay.
You got Andrew Miller, who was a key piece of the trade deadline.
Andrew Miller is going to be gassed. Andrew Miller threw so many innings.
They
4 or
relied
5.
on him too much.
Corey Kluber's gassed.
Ultimately cost them the World Series.
I think Corey Kluber's going to be gassed going next year. I don't think he's going to have a big year. Salazar, you don't know what he's going to be coming off of an injury. Carrasco, same way, coming off a big injury. You have a lot of these guys for Cleveland coming off injuries or coming off the most inning in their careers. Yes, the Tigers have a lot of question marks too. What is Fulmer going to bring to the table next year?
Question marks.
And the Tigers have a lot of what ifs. Is someone going to get traded? Is Sanchez going to be leaving town?
Baseball is the most unpredictable sport.
That's why it's so much fun.
That's
That's why
because it's so long.
It's long. Injuries happen.
winter meetings are so.
I feel
the
like
season's gonna be stirring before you know it. I
Baseball
know
is
it's December, but it
yeah.
always comes fast.
baseball is the one sport where I feel like trade deadline is like the most important. It used to be
absolutely.
the All-Star game
NFL,
used to mean
nothing
something, but not
happens.
none of this new
NBA,
collective trade bargain.
a little bit. Hockey, not really.
No.
Baseball's where it matters.
Baseball matters.
So why not try it one more year? Why not keep the band together?
I mean, I'm
one
fine with
more
it.
Year. I get it, the luxury
Well,
tax,
obviously,
and you got. The thing is you're not going to get much for any of the guys. The only person that you're going to draw any kind of benefit from would be JD.
Martinez.
And the thing is why not try to sign JD? You're seeing how much these big bats are getting. You're seeing how much Cespedes is getting.
Because the money in everyone else.
Is you cut $9 million for Cameron Maben. Okay, go out there. I'll give you 3 names. You have Jacoby Jones, who is in-house, should be starting center field. You sign Austin Jackson, or you go and get Ben Revere. Ben Revere and Austin
I
Jackson.
don't want Jackson.
Yeah, I'll take
back.
Ben Revere.
Ben Revere, speedy, top of the lineup guy.
Base
Austin
stealer.
Jackson, you're going to get for a nickel. So, if you're going to go ahead and keep the team together, add another piece or two. That's cheap. You cut $9 million off.
Got
the cap.
Collins too.
Oh yeah, Tyler Collins. That can't
Might
hit.
flip off the fans, but
And you're not getting
Well,
Saul
that's-
Philamonkia back. You're not signing him again.
that's the
And you're
problem
probably
with
going to
Jacoby
get. You're
Jones.
probably going to get
Yeah,
Al's son
yeah,
back.
yeah,
You're
you're
probably
gonna
going to
get
have
Jacoby
Yeah,
Jones
Alex.
is probably a better defensive center fielder than may have been was, but Jacoby struggles at the plate.
Do you have Moya on the roster this
Moya,
year?
you try to get rid of.
I
would try to get rid of Moya for a second.
I'd try and get rid of Victor and DH Moya.
That's what I was going to say. Is that Moya would have been
because
your DH
even
at best.
even if you're going to go for it, I still don't feel Victor's going to be very good this year. He's so old. That's the problem.
He's aging rapidly, and
He gets
his
hurt a
years
lot
of
more.
Playing behind the plate have really cost him.
And Moya's shown he's
several
got
years.
some power. He can hit the ball.
And
a little
Moya
bit.
can't play the field, though.
No,
so
that's what I'm saying.
that it-
DH Moya.
He's relegated to a DH, and that is his only position. Now, if the Tigers are going to make a run this year, I would love to add another bullpen piece, and the guy that I would have wanted to have already got signed. Melanson. I think Melanson's a guy that would have been a good. Obviously, Chapman would be great, but I think Chapman's blown
much
out.
money,
I think
yeah. He wants way too much money.
Chapman wants a
Yeah.
boatload of
To
money
stay
and-
with the Cubs.
and he threw a boatload of pitches
Yeah.
last year.
He ain't no starter. He just don't have it in him.
I don't see him having that great of a year next year. I think Chapman, he's going to be good.
He's not going to be
But-
throwing 103 again, I don't think. I
but
think he's going to have to lower that to
His,
98, 99.
his stuff last year was phenomenal. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He threw a lot of innings, a lot of
But
pitches.
I think transitioning from the American League to the National League just helped him. It really did. It kind of gave him a fresh start, and he adjusted very well. There was nothing really a bad sign about Chapman that he was going to struggle. He picked up right where he left off, if not better. But you guys got to remember this, too. The Tigers still have a vacancy on their 40-man roster, and they have the Rule 5 draft tomorrow.
Well, there you go.
They have
Get
the
a center
20 they have the
field- you can get a
20th
center
pick.
fielder right there.
Yeah, I feel, they're not going to get pitching. You're going to probably get an offensive piece, and it's probably going to be a center fielder at best. So, you got a lot of teams in front of them that will probably choose not to make a pick. So if they're targeting a certain player, it's possible they could engineer a trade.
Well, speaking of trades, when we talk about the three guys that are supposedly the active ones right now, teams are actually looking at, that would be,
JD.
well, JD, yes, but the more reasonable ones right now that seem close to being traded are Anibal Sanchez, Justin Wilson,
And Jose Iglesias.
Jose Iglesias. And the theme there, besides maybe Sanchez, is the contracts. They don't make a lot of money. They have low contracts. See, the Tigers, Al Vila specifically, thought, these big names, we can trade them. We'll get a lot for them. Well, no, when they're getting as much money as they are, it's hard to trade them, all right?
And the value's lower on them.
And you
because look what happened
want
with
too much
Sanchez.
for JD. That's the problem with JD. You're asking for way too much. I mean, he's a good player, but teams aren't going to give everything away for one outfielder, Al Avila thought he was going to get way more than he actually thought, and now the Tigers have turned around and basically said, we're not going to be trading anymore. We're gonna keep this band together because we have a lot of good players. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'd love to see Sanchez get traded because I don't really think he has a spot on this team anymore. I like our starting rotation.
Like Pelfrey.
Don't really want him in the bullpen. I'd like to see Pelfrey gone
$7
too.
million for
package,
Pelfrey.
package Pelfrey and
Pelfrey,
and,
no one wants
Sanchez,
Mike Pelfrey.
but they don't want him. You're stuck with
Pelfrey
him.
will be a long-term
Yeah.
bullpen pitcher or a starting pitcher if someone gets hurt in our
You got
rotation.
Sanchez. You owe Sanchez almost $17 million for next year. It's the final guaranteed year of a 5-year deal,
And he's barely a fifth starter.
and he's barely a
That-
fifth starter.
And that is a big
He
concern.
has $16 million option, or alternately a $5 million buyout for 2018.
He's
So
barely
you
a
gotta get
fifth
rid of him
starter to
now.
us, but I think there's other teams out there that would take a chance on him as a third, fourth guy.
Just see about dumping him.
What about
to Colorado.
packaging Sanchez and Wilson? Just make that a package.
Just
deal.
try to see if you can
Good. I
send
could-
him over to Colorado. For,
I could see Sanchez going to the Yankees. They need starting pitching.
Yeah.
Now they're not going to give you the world, but
Yeah.
they
Well,
they have the space.
They have a young
money-wise,
core. They have a young core, but the fans
but
also
they,
are.
but they
they're
need
not-
starting
yeah.
pitching. They don't have starting pitching. They have the Japanese guy. What's his name?
Kuroda
Tanaka.
or Tanaka.
Tanaka. Yeah, he's pretty good. And then
Dylan Betances in the back end, but that's getting to Betances.
the
CC Sabathia, he's
who's the other black guy on there?
Michael Pineda.
Yeah,
Pineda. He hasn't really panned out.
Ever
so-
since he got him from Seattle.
Yeah, he hasn't
never
panned out.
He never
so
lived up to the hype either.
They need a guy. I mean,
That's the Yankees.
Yeah, it is. They look at what they've done previously with other teams.
Yankees
and
have a
they-
lot of young talent, obviously with Sanchez.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody likes Sanchez.
They got a good farm system over there in New
And
York.
they're
now.
starting to clear out of the old
Yeah.
veterans. Teixeira,
Yeah, Teixeira's
Jeter,
gone,
they're all
A-Rod,
starting to go away.
yeah.
A-Rod's going away. So they have a lot of guys coming
They got
off
rid
the
of
cap.
Beltran.
Yeah, Beltran signed elsewhere. Yankees are getting younger.
Yeah, who'd Beltran? Didn't he sign with Houston?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Houston's going to continue to get better.
Houston's going to be – they're another young core team that could work their way up the ladder. I mean, they made a comeback last year, almost made the playoffs. They're not going to be too fluky. I think Houston's going to be up there kind of in the top 6, 7 teams.
Probably.
I don't see the Tigers being a contender this year.
Yeah.
But with
knocking on the door.
With everybody on the division, kind of obviously when you ship Chris Sale out, and I think the White Sox are going to try to trade Frazier, Abreu.
Oh, they're
Well, they said everyone's open.
Yeah,
They're not trying
turning
to keep
apart.
anyone.
That was tough. Well, at least they're acting on their rumor mill. I mean,
but
we
they didn't
said
have
all
the
this.
contracts
Yeah.
we have.
Yeah, I mean, but you still got a high value price for a guy like Sale. I mean, Sale, I could see him kind of maybe being moved. I didn't see
Look
him
how
being
much
moved
Chris
to
Sale
Boston.
makes. That's what makes Chris Sale so valuable. Is Chris Sale, his value is so high because you got him under contract for 3 years and you're not paying him much at all.
Until his contract rolls over and he's due to re-sign, then he'll be making the money.
Then he'll be making probably Clayton Kershaw type money.
Because he's only been in the
but
league for 3 or 4 years, Sale. So, and every year he's just gotten a little bit better and better, you know. So, I mean, he's a Cy Young caliber
I know
pitcher.
both you guys aren't high on him going over there with the whole lefty combination of him and David
No,
Price.
I like him going there. I just don't think Boston's that good.
I think Boston benefits a lot, and I think David Price benefits a lot now. And it takes the ace status away from Price. And you put that on Sale, and Sale's away from Chicago, and obviously he didn't like being with Chicago.
No.
We all remember the ripped-up jersey incident. But that takes away the ace role from David Price. David Price can slot in as a number 2. Rick Porcello can go down to a number 3 or 4 or whatever you want to put him. Porcello's not going to win you 22 games again next year, pardon me.
Won't even
But
get close.
he's not going to get close to that.
Probably get 11 wins.
But David Price is going to be good. David Price is going to be a lot better. I think David Price is
postseason though.
Postseason,
He's not proven.
baby steps. Baby steps to get to the postseason.
Maybe having Sale there, who's an unknown in the postseason because he's never played a postseason game in his career. Maybe that'll be an unknown that David Price needs to kind of have to help him out.
Those two guys back to back.
They could be buddies.
Boston will make the playoffs.
Bash Brothers.
I don't think they're anything. I don't think they're World Series contenders. Just don't.
Well, we thought that. Danny had them as this World Series champions, and boy, did they sure disappoint this year with Poppy.
And I don't think they're any better than they were this year.
No, even
with Sale, I don't think they're better than they were last year because, like you said, Porcello's not going to be the same.
No, pitching wins your World Series, but I still don't think that with their bullpen that they have.
I mean, David Ortiz, who was, he was old, but he had a great season still.
He
He's a big part of that offense.
Craig Kimbrough.
Maybe, but yeah, like you said, Mookie Betts is going to be continuing to climb up the ladder, make another bid for an AL MVP.
That's Bogarts. They're all very young, very talented. Bradley. I don't see Boston's going to win that division again. It's going to be tough, but between Boston and
Baltimore will be close.
They're going to both probably be close to 90
even
wins.
Toronto has a chance to be close.
I think Toronto's losing too many pieces.
No, there's still Jose Batista. Is he signed
Batista's
back on?
going to leave town.
Yeah,
Encarnacion's leaving town.
Yeah, he wants out too. They're going to make moves before the winter meetings are over.
Tulowitzki will be gone another year.
Don't forget too that even though we're talking about preseason and winter meeting trades and all this stuff, don't forget about midseason trade deadline because even if we start the season with guys like Kinsler and JD, we still might trade them at the
Tigers
deadline.
are kind of out of it.
If they're out of it, if they're out of contention, then free up some more
teams are going to be more looking like, okay, we got this one opportunity. We need a second base. We need a guy that's going to hit 300 the rest of the way. You're going to go out and make a splash. And you're going to go out there and give the Tigers some prospects for Ian Kinsler. Or, you need a big bat in the lineup. You're going to go and get JD. As long as JD's healthy, I think he's a very good player to acquire in a trade deadline situation. Obviously, and he's a low market guy. You're not going to be paying him a whole lot of money if you want to keep him. Whereas if you went and got Justin Upton, you're looking at his contract, you're going, oh no. And you're looking at his big strikeout range, that's going to turn you off right there. But you got a guy like JD who's a good clubhouse guy, really is a student of the game, really, you see him with his notebook after each at bat. I like that about JD. And he's a very quiet guy. He's not a real rah-rah guy. I want to see JD stick around here. I know, and he's going to be coming at a little bit of a steeper price, especially if he has a big year this year, but signing JD long-term, I don't think is necessarily a bad idea.
I wouldn't mind it. I like him. He's one of my favorite Tigers. But I accept.
But you go ahead and you give a boatload of money to Justin Upton, who first half of the season, I said I was going to be first. I was wrong, but I said it's 200 strikeouts the way he was looking.
And he came up just short of that.
And he came up and he hit, what was it, 35 bombs? But that was all second half numbers. He came out in the second half. So what are you going to see from Justin Upton?
A full season where he finally came into his own. He should be well adjusted, and you have a full entire winter and spring training with the Tigers team. So we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully he hits home runs. I still don't think his average will be any higher than 250, but
no.
If he hits
around
250,
240.
If he hits 250, I'll be happy as long as he hits you 30 bombs,
80
RBIs,
no, you're gonna need it,
and has 150 strikeouts.
We're going to have to find a way to get the 25 or whatever home runs Victor hit, because if Victor plays, he'll have about maybe 12 this year.
Yeah. He'll run into a few.
Power. Well, we never thought Victor would hit 35 a couple years ago when he did, but the power's down. He can't step
generate
in.
Any power on that back leg.
He can't step in anymore, step out with that back leg. But
my biggest wish, I just wish we had a manager with a better manager with the people we have, the players we have.
Well, when
I
he
feel
came
like
here, it was a ready-made team.
The last couple of years would have been different if we still had Leland or someone more experienced. I don't know about you guys, but I was a Leland fan.
I was a Leland fan too. I wasn't a slappy by any means.
I know, either was I.
But we had hate on Leland.
Leland made some decisions where
questionable.
You're like, what?
Just like
he gave some guys days off where you're like, huh?
I think because
managers.
It's been 2 years now. We've missed the playoffs 2 out of 3 years that Ausmus has been manager. And just looking back over these last couple seasons, I mean, obviously last year was really strugglesome because we only won 72 games. But going into this year, if we had Leland on our team, maybe 3 or 4 wins he would have saved us because of actual managing better than Ausmus would have. Mm-hmm. But as far as Cleveland goes, I don't think you would have done much better against Cleveland if Leland was your coach.
Cleveland had our number this year.
They
but
did.
Yeah.
I can tell you one thing. Next year, it's not going to...
I don't think it'll be completely role reversed, but I think that we'll probably be within that 500 range of Cleveland. I mean, it should be pretty well down the middle. I just want to touch on, because this is somebody that you actually are pretty high on over in the National League, your Giants. Mad Bum is owed over $35 million over the next 3 seasons on his current contract. Mm-hmm. Now, Bobby Evans, the GM of the Giants, is actually talking about revamping and renewing his contract. Do you think they should do it? Now, he's 27. He's coming off of his 4th straight All-Star season, finished 4th in the NL Cy Young. He posted a 2.73 ERA, striking out a career-high 251 batters in 26 innings. He's owed $11.5 million in 2017, and the Giants hold $12 million options on him in 18 and 19. So do you think you should revamp his contract?
If I'm Bumgarner...
At 27? You're in the prime of your career?
He is at the prime of his career.
I keep him around.
If you're the Giants, or if I'm the Giants, I'm going to
because they're still in the hunt. They're not a rebuilding team.
They're a good team.
They're always in the hunt.
Going to be a good team if they keep him around.
Giants build their roster. Right?
If I'm Mad Bum though, I'm going to test the market because I can
go to the Dodgers.
Be your competition. You know how much money he could get on the open market? A lot.
Yeah.
He's going to get paid, and guess where he's going to get paid to come?
The Dodgers.
Nope. Pinstripes.
Oh. It's always a risk, man.
And then you're going to see him clean cut like a little 12-year-old.
Oh, yeah. They can't have no facial hair, man, over there in New York.
I guarantee you, if he decides to test the market, he'll be a Yankee.
Damn. But because he's won a World Series championship. He's got 2, right?
But he seems to be that San Francisco guy that will stick around. I don't believe that.
He won in 12 and 14, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've won a World Series. You've been there, done that. I'm not saying that you've worn your welcome out in San Fran. I mean,
absolutely not.
It's a beautiful town to play in.
Why would you want to move?
Why would you want to leave?
Well,
you got everything.
Successful.
You've been successful.
The baseball team's good. He's been good.
I can understand if you were in a
summers
nice
and winters there are just fantastic.
Oh yeah, 70 degrees. But at the same time, I mean, you've won your 2 World Series rings. If you want to test the market, I'm not going to blame you. If you want to walk, I'm not going to dog you if I'm a San Francisco fan.
Yeah, I mean, you've won your championships.
Yeah, you've brought relevance to that.
He's going to get $200 million if he tests the market.
Oh, yes. He'll be up there making Kershaw money.
No doubt about it. He'll get $200 million if he does decide to test the market.
True.
And if they're able to sign him for a nice hometown discount in San Francisco, they're going to stay relevant. And hats off to the Giants organization.
Yeah, I mean, really, right now with these winter meetings kind of coming to a close,
he doesn't look like he's 27.
No,
either.
He doesn't.
He looks like he's a hard 30.
Yeah, he does. He's been around the game a while, though. It's hard to believe that, but now we just want to touch on winter meetings because they came to a close, and
no, they're not over yet.
Well, they're going to be over probably by the end of this week, right? So once they end, next week we'll touch on to see if any more moves were made. But right now, it looks like the Tigers are staying pat, and we'll find out who they end up drafting tomorrow. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. And then
Some kid from Cuba.
yeah. And then, obviously we start off with them usually every show, but this week we're kind of towards the end because we decided to kick off with some football talk. But the Red Wings, it was hard to watch last night, but they pulled it out. Their second game, this one in a shootout, 1-4-3 against the Jets. I fell asleep. I'll be the first to admit I fell
How
asleep
can
in
you
this
fall
one.
asleep when Patrick Laine is on your TV?
Stop it, dude. I don't care. Forget
You
talking
fall
about
asleep
Patrick
when the Red
Laine.
Wings are on.
I can't.
I get it why you fell asleep when the Red Wings are on, because I'm going to say this once. The Red Wings are very, very boring to
Yes.
watch.
They're a very middle-of-the-road team.
Even going to their
They're
games.
just
And
boring.
you saw it. 'cause
And no, that
I-
game was not boring.
No, but
it was the game against Dallas. And
finally, I'm talking about the one that we went to because I called it out.
it was
I
against
said,
the Flames.
Yes,
and
that we should have beat.
Let me just say,
Derek broke a chair.
With all the forwards we have and all the great forwards we're supposed to be, have on the ice, we don't score a lot of goals for having all these great forwards we supposedly have.
Great forwards, what?
What great forwards
What
are you talking about?
Chad?
The prodigy of Nyquist and Tatar.
Oh, yeah.
Nyquist and
The
Tatar.
second coming of Jesus and Dylan
Yeah.
Larkin.
Under
Zetterberg
that
still
heat.
being 25 in some people's minds.
The shortcomings of
Oh,
of
Chad,
Tatar
you're
and
drinking that
Nyquist.
Kool-Aid.
No, the
Oh,
short-
I am not drinking that.
The
Kool-Aid.
shortcomings of Tatar and Nyquist have been a concern, but I gotta, this is a guy that
I'm just diving deep into the mind of Ken Holland and thinking what he's thinking, because he obviously thinks we score 5 goals a
You're
game.
just
and
lathering in that butter over there.
It's
I gotta,
unbelievable
I know
how
that
bad this team
Zetterberg's a
is.
guy that we've dogged, before, but the thing is that, he's.
Oh, yeah, like Ken Daniels said last night.
geez.
Zetterberg looks like he's 10 years younger than what
No,
he really is.
I'm not gonna go
he's
that far.
flying around the ice. And when
Ah.
he plays center, that makes his legs move, like he says in every broadcast.
Let me tell you,
They
when
had him playing center
Zetterberg leads
last
the team
Yeah.
in points, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Dylan Larkin only having 2 assists, that's a problem.
Well, Dylan Larkin,
He's having that sophomore
Shahan
slump.
still being on our active roster at -10 is a problem.
Luke Glendening,
8 goals
Drew
and 2
Miller.
assists for Dylan Larkin.
But the Wings have 6 guys on the shelf.
What's Riley Shahan, 1 goal, 2 assists, and
And he's still playing on the
it's
third
terrible.
line. What? But
Where's
no,
the applicator? I haven't heard his name.
He's hurt.
Yeah, Abby's hurt.
Oh, is he
so
still
double-
hurt?
Yeah,
He's
double A too, yeah. But
I knew Double A.
Double A is playing tomorrow.
double A will be back tomorrow.
God, Bannick
Friday.
is the only one with the
Pardon me,
presence
Friday.
of putting the puck in the net on her.
Zetterberg, I'm going to give the devil his due because he's showing these past 5. I mean, he's on a 6-game point streak. The last 5 games, he's got 3 goals.
He has been hotter these
He
last
has been
couple
hot.
games. I'll give him
and he's
that.
been hot against decent teams, against Pittsburgh, against Dallas, against, a Florida team that's kind of wishy-washy. But
Let me tell you, I almost vomited last night when I saw Erickson and Lashoff on the same goddamn defensive line.
didn't you text me? Didn't
I
you
wanted
text
to
me?
vomit.
Did you text me that? Did you not?
No, I put that on Facebook.
No, I thought you. I swear you texted me that.
I think
Larkin.
I put it on Facebook.
Did
too.
you? Yeah, you were like Lashoff and
Erickson and
Erickson.
Lashoff. I looked at that and I did a double take.
Hey.
I'm like,
I kid you not. I turned the game on the first period. I saw that line. I turned the Pistons game on until they went to the shootout. I didn't turn the Red Wings back on until they were in the shootout.
Oh goodness gracious!
I know the Wings are decimated with injuries right now,
and they're
so that's-
desperate for any sort of line line pairings
Listen,
that we haven't had before.
I turned that game off. I kept getting the updates on my phone, Winnipeg
Shot
scored
on
3
goal,
goals in
Winnipeg.
10 minutes, and I'm just like, yeah,
Oh, I
Erickson
thought-
Lashoff.
I had no hope for them when they were down 3-1 in the second period. I thought they were done for. I thought-
Lashoff is the biggest bust. Erickson is
Yeah.
just the
Why we
worst
have him up
defenseman
here?
on
But
our
that's
team.
it. That's
Because
only his
there's-
contract because it's a 2-way contract that he
That's
has.
there's nobody else to play.
Yeah, nobody else to play.
Everybody's
What?
hurt.
Brian
What is the
Lashoff.
Detroit Red Wings?
The Detroit Griffins?
No, because the Griffins are actually good.
Usually.
Yeah, Brian Lashoff, my God. His best career numbers came with the Griffins back in
Lashoff
2012. He
awful.
had, in 76 games played, he had 8 goals, 11 assists.
2012.
I feel bad for our goalies. I really do. Because they get no help. They really do.
Brian Lashoff is strictly an AHL player. My God, he's only played with
That's
the Red.
all that- he's a 4A player.
Yeah, the
That's
Red
all
Wings.
that he is.
The Red Wings gave him a chance, and he's 26 years old.
Goodness gracious, he's
Do
been
you
in the
remember
league.
Do you remember what OHL team he played for?
Lashoff?
They have a football team named after them. NFL team.
I honestly couldn't tell
What
you.
was the question?
What OHL team did Brian Lashoff?
That's a good
play
one
for?
because usually OHL
You're-
rated.
they
They
I'm
got a
good at.
football team named after him?
There's a football team
What's it
named
start
after-
with? G?
A B.
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 An OHL team.
It's the same name as an NFL, or
yes, their team name is the same name as an NFL team name. You give up?
I'm drawing a blank right now.
The Barry Colts.
Barry Colts.
Oh,
Yeah, he played for the Barry Colts for
What
3
year?
years. 07 to 09. The same year that the Plymouth Whalers won.
That's the year. Yeah, the Whalers destroyed him.
Yes, I remember that.
I think I watched Jared Bull
He wasn't
smash
that.
his
Yeah,
face.
he wasn't that good. He had a few penalty minutes, but he had. Let's see here. In 3 seasons, he had 8 goals and 33 assists.
I mean, did they keep a
And the
stat?
Wings drafted that?
Yeah. Oh, we didn't draft him until 2009.
And the Wings actually... Oh my gosh, he's been in the system that long?
He's been in the system for 6
Are
years.
you kidding me?
Brian Lashoff has been a Griffin.
Oh my
since
God.
Does the NHL keep stats of breakaways faced by a goalie? Because I
No.
guarantee Mrazek and Howard lead that stat.
Oh,
If
how many
they kept
breakaways
it.
they
Yeah.
had, and how many saves, like their
Goodness.
ratio. Oh, are we going to see Jimmy Howard pretty soon? Is he? How's
Jimmy
the injury
Howard's good
looking?
to go.
Is he?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
back. He's
So we sent
activated.
Crow back down.
Yep, Crow is back down, and
Bye-bye.
so is the other guy.
I'll give
called
Crow
up.
his due. He didn't play a bad game against the.
Derek,
You talking about
how
what? No.
often did
No.
you watch that?
the Penguins?
I didn't fault him.
We were up
'cause-
3-1 though.
He had one soft goal that was just...
Okay, one
Fine.
soft goal.
You know what? But that was his first NHL start, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yes,
first
and they're
ever.
going against
The
the
butterfly.
Penguins.
Listen
Yeah.
here.
That's Blashill's fault, though.
Yeah,
for throwing him in the
you
fire.
called that
That's
last
stupidity.
game. It should have been against the Islanders.
That was bad playing against Pittsburgh. But second of all, you're up 3-1, but somehow you let up, they gave up 20 shots in the third period.
Yeah.
They were outshot like 40 to like 27 or something.
I think he held
You
his
let
own.
40 shots on a rookie goalie, a
Well,
first start.
that's,
Yeah, you deserve to lose.
Well, that's
Come on,
also
dude.
you got to look at Jeff Blashill. Why would you start a guy against the first place Pittsburgh Penguins when you're going against the Islanders the night afterwards, which are
Yeah, he made 32 saves that night.
Give the kid an opportunity for success. Don't give him the opportunity for failure. You throw him in the game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. I don't care if he wants to play against his boyhood dream of playing Crosby.
Oh,
I
God.
don't give a hoot. Put him in against the Islanders. You actually have an opportunity of winning. The Islanders
and you would have won.
are
probably with
garbage.
him. Yeah, you would have won with him.
So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Howard's coming back, and I don't know if he's going to get the start on Friday, but if he gets the start against Columbus, Columbus is going to light him up.
Why?
If his groin is not 100%, Columbus is fast.
So you think
This
you're
is-
bringing him
they have
back
great
quickly?
shots.
Too quick?
If you bring him back too quickly and that little groin injury is not 100%,
He makes a save and he stretches the wrong way. Oh!
Hey,
So
this
you're gonna
is
see a
such
quick
a
exit.
revolving door with Jimmy Howard. He's probably toasted for the rest of the season because this is what's happened the last 2
Yeah,
or 3
groin
years.
Last
injuries,
year-
that's the biggest concern.
He had a
If
groin
it-
injury
If you have a
last year.
hamstring or a groin injury and you're a goalie, one little tweak too far to
That's
the
why
net.
you-
If
and you're
he has a good game against Columbus, I shut him down. I'm trading his ass. Get him out of town
What?
and trade him. Because you need to trade him.
Yeah, well, not now.
You need to get something, and B, you need to get him out the door or you're going to lose him in the expansion
I wait
draft.
till the trade deadline because I want to make sure that he's not injured, so you're not trading an injured goaltender because nobody will take him if he's still injured.
so now
You
I
got to play him out a little while longer.
before we get off track here, well, on the show preview, I give you, and I don't know if you've read this or not, but I'll go ahead and give mine first, so that way it gives you a moment to think. Biggest surprise for the season.
For the
And
Red
yes, it is a team that we're playing on Friday, but I got also a bad one too that Derek's gonna probably laugh at me about because it's
No.
hard to say.
No.
Biggest surprise as far as positive goes is the Columbus Blue Jackets. Who would have thunk it? The way they start off, how good they are now. Firing on all cylinders. Bobrovsky's playing out of his mind. Defensively, they're good. Offensively, they're scoring. And you don't know. The average hockey fan looks at Columbus's roster and they're like, who? Who? Who?
Who?
Exactly.
New Day.
That's Columbus. Biggest surprise as far as negative goes.
I know this. Can I guess? I know who they are. Dallas Stars.
Yes. Dallas, after last season, you expected Dallas to come
Jamie
in this
Benn
year.
and Sagan.
It's not their fault.
It's Kerry Lettinen.
It's Lettinen and Niemi. But
a minus 20 differential in goals.
it's a big problem.
Yes.
Dallas let go of a few
They're not
defensive
scoring as
pieces.
much.
That's also a problem. Dallas is not. And I seen Dallas firsthand against the Wings
Yes.
have a lot of talent in the front
And they
end.
just lost to Calgary last night.
They're losing games because they're not scoring. Their goaltending is not great, so they're not going to win any games 1-0 because
No.
Kerry Lettinen and Niemi are not very good. So if you go out, like Chad said, if you want to make a plug for old Neil over there, if Neil wants to make up a little plug and
James Howard.
pull away Mr. Howard.
That was who I think all three of us agreed that that's who they should trade for. But who do you get in return for a guy like that?
Yes, everybody would love to have Banner Sagan, but give me
No.
a break.
No.
Give me a break.
Give us Patrick Sharp.
I'm looking.
Nail Peter Mrazek in the face.
I'm looking
I'll
for
take Sharp.
a
I'll take Sharp.
second line defenseman or something.
I'll take
Give him
Johnny Oduya,
I'll do
who's
ya.
hurt.
I'll do you.
He's also hurt.
We'll do ya. Johnny will do ya.
I used to love when I play NHL hearing Gary Thorne announce, "Oh, do ya? Oh, do
I
ya?"
love playing the old NHL games. It was the goalie, Heavy Boolin or whatever his
Yeah.
name is.
Heavy Boolin. I used to like the one that's like, well, if he ain't gotten it, he ain't gotten it. Like he just repeat himself, like just it was so bad commentary. But
I'd always do my own commentary. Who'll do ya? Johnny will do ya.
Yeah, Johnny will do ya.
Goodness gracious!
So my biggest surprise.
But that wouldn't be a fair trade to get for Jimmy Howard to get Patrick Sharp on this team, or do you not want Patrick Sharp?
Patrick Sharp would be great. He's
pretty
another.
old.
He's another guy that's a little bit streaky.
He's a little old too.
But Dallas is not going to do that.
Jason Spezza.
I don't see Dallas doing that.
Jason Spezza is.
You would think,
No,
but, I mean,
knowing
dude,
Ken Holland will trade
this is a
Jimmy
team-
Howard there to get Patrick Eaves.
I mean,
or
dude, you
something.
got Sagan, Ben,
Exactly.
Sharp, Spezza.
Although
You
he does
got-
have 11 goals,
That's
he
what
just
I
gets
told
hurt.
you.
You've
Their
got-
offense is
You
dynamite.
got Alice Hemsky too. Wow, I can't believe they have Alice Hemsky. Is he playing still?
I think he's on the shelf.
And they got Yuri Hudler.
Who is also on the shelf. Just coming back.
Alice Hemsky back in his Edmonton days, though.
They have a lot of talent there. A lot of offensive power.
Yeah, they're not producing.
Defensively, though, right now, it's a struggle. And stopping the puck. Last year, goaltending cost them a Stanley Cup run. I'll stick with my guns and say that. This year, it's just been...
Now, if you would have gotten Niemi 4 or 5 years ago when he was in Chicago, maybe a different story.
So is that your two as well? You're just going
Yes.
to ditto off me?
Oh, I got different ones.
Well, wait a minute. All right. I think. Do you agree also with Columbus, or do you think?
Oh, I totally agree with his. I just
All
got
right.
a couple others.
Well, one. You got to narrow it down to one.
Oh, I got one.
Really?
One for each conference.
All right.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. So for the no, I'm just kidding. Not each conference, but
Your positive is the Blue Jackets. Your biggest
no.
surprise.
He's probably going to do a 180 here.
My biggest surprise. I mean, Edmonton would
Connor
be the obvious
McDavid?
answer.
Yeah, I thought.
I'm
about
going
Edmonton.
Ottawa though.
Ottawa.
Okay.
Ottawa was towards the bottom last year. They're sitting second with 32 points. Pretty impressive.
Okay.
They play well.
That flow of air.
I mean, it could be Montreal because they're not undefeated, but no, I'm just kidding.
Honestly, if you look at each conference and you look at each division, there's really only one team that's running away with it in the West. You got the Blackhawks and you got the Oilers.
Yeah.
Because really the Western Conference, just the win-loss records, they're really not that good.
neck and neck or not real
Blackhawks and Blues really are neck and neck in the Central, and then the Pacific. you got
Blackhawks
Oilers.
are decimated with injuries too. Jonathan Taves.
Yeah, but
Crawford.
still, they're 17-8. They're the best team in the West. Best team in the East, obviously, right now. It's kind of it's
Montreal by far.
Yeah,
No,
Montreal,
Pittsburgh's right behind
Montreal
them.
and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's only 2 points.
And the
behind them.
Rangers.
And then the Rangers as well. The same three teams that really are always towards the top.
Kind of leads me to my letdown. Probably be, I mean, it's between Florida and the Islanders, but I have to go Islanders.
I'm gonna go with Panthers.
No,
I'd be the Islanders, seeing last. in
even
their
though the Islanders
division.
Islanders let go of two of their best players.
They're 10-10 right now.
Lost Oposo. They lost Nielsen. They lost Boychuk. They've lost a lot.
But when you're a playoff team last year, now you're seeing last in the conference. It's a letdown.
Well, you knew that the Canadians weren't going to be bottom feeders. Obviously,
Well,
they had a
Florida,
good team.
Florida's a letdown.
Now this
Yeah.
is now
Florida has changed places with the Canadians. Really, think about
Now
it.
this is going to be right off the cuff. This is my hot take of the day. Now I got criticized I got criticized mightily for this on Twitter
Oh God,
by some guys from SRD, which is completely fine.
I'm glad I'm not on Twitter anymore.
But anywho, now I said this, and this is a crazy thought, but it goes with Chad, so it's a quick seg. Is that
I love quick sex.
seg, not sex?
Quickies.
John Tavares on a very, very bad team. Contracts up next year.
Go get him.
Ship them.
Why not do a little negotiating? See if the Islanders are willing to trade Tavares. Because if you can get John Tavares,
Give Nielsen back for Tavares. I'd do it. I'd get Tavares for Nielsen.
Tavares-
You want Nielsen back? Give us your better player.
Yes.
So
Keep
Tavares-
Nielsen.
Tavares lost all of his line mates. Lost Okposo, lost Nielsen. He's losing guys left and right. Do you really think he wants to stay with the Islanders and just kind of downgrade his career?
Do a sign and trade.
Why don't the Wings just try to either make a little splash?
Yeah,
Going
because
into
Lord
little
knows we
seasons-
need help scoring some goals right now.
The Wings desperately need goal scoring. They desperately need to put butts in the seats. Well, that's not a problem. scratch that.
Well, and now you really
You need
get to
some
see
excitement to this hockey organization.
and now you're going to get to see what the Islanders are all with a weakened team. Tavares is not really downgraded at all. I mean,
Tavares on a line with Larkin
producing.
or Nielsen.
He's got 7 goals, 13 assists. I mean, he's
producing, but he's not getting any help.
No.
He is their leader. He's going to be
Yeah.
if they are willing to deal him, which it's going to be difficult. But they're in last place. They're letting guys go. Offer them something that they can't refuse, and it's not going to be well liked. But I'll send you Anthony Siu. I'll send you Mantha. I'll send you Howard because Yaroslav Halak wants to be gone.
I have no problem with giving Anthony Siu away if we're only going to play him 9 minutes a night when he's healthy.
Yaroslav Halak.
Yaroslav Halak doesn't want to be there either. So go ahead. Here's Jimmy Howard.
And
Here's
we'll get
Anthony Siu.
We'll get Halak.
No.
Yeah, but you know what?
Halak will go somewhere else and try to rejuvenate his
Cal
career.
Clutterbuck.
He leads the league in hits.
Yeah.
Do you want a guy like that? We have Steve Ott for that position.
But Clutterbuck could also be a goal scorer, a playmaker.
No, we need a guy like Tavares because...
No, this is crazy talk. It's the Wings and Ken Holland would have done this 10 years ago. 10 years ago, this might actually...
when there was no salary cap because you could trade for him and then sign whatever he wanted.
Yeah. People wouldn't think I'm such an idiot for saying something like this, is what I've been called on Twitter, is that 10 years ago, yes, this might actually happen.
But you know what? You bring up a good point because this is exactly what the Red Wings need. I don't think our forwards are necessarily bad, but none of them are... Larkin's going to work his way into it, but none of them are their own playmakers.
They rely on each other.
That's what we're missing with Datsuk.
Yeah.
Datsuk was good at setting people up. He could score. He could make plays. Even last year when he was old and, he still made some plays. That's what we're missing right now.
True.
If we bring in Tavares and he's making those plays, he can set up the Larkin. He can set up Nyquist and Tatar for those snipes because that's what they are. They're not danglers. They don't come down the ice.
There's not a whole... Yeah. There's nobody that's really can take the puck from the neutral zone
and
carry
Larkin
it in.
Are your scorers.
And there's no guy... There's a lot of pass-first guys. Zetterberg, yes, he's scoring goals, but they're all just tip-ins. He's in the right place at the right time. And I know that's hockey, and that's what Justin Abelkader does, and that is what makes him so successful. But the Wings don't have that guy. And Thomas Vanek could be that guy. Thomas Vanek 5 years ago is that guy, but now he's slowing down.
And Dylan Larkin had the potential to be that
Larkin
guy.
has
just not there yet.
He's not there
he's
yet.
2 years away, 3 years away.
Dylan Larkin's struggling to score goals. He's struggling to get in good position because why? Because he doesn't have any protection.
No.
And you can't, and this is on Jeff Blashill. This is my beef with Jeff Blashill. You cannot keep rattling these damn lines each and every night. Dylan Larkin's on the fourth line. Oh, he's on the third line. Oh, he's back with Zetterberg.
There's
he's
never
back
going
on
to
the fourth
be
line.
any sort of...
You have no chemistry.
Well, here's the problem. I mean, it's kind of like going from Leland to Osmus. I mean, you had one
and we get a live caller here on Derek's cell phone.
I guess she didn't know the show was tonight. She forgot.
You had one of the best.
Live on air?
You had one of the best coaches in probably the history of hockey in Babcock. Yeah. I mean, now we're going back. I mean, I don't think Blashill's a terrible coach, but it's obviously not on the level Babcock was. And I mean, we're kind of suffering. Red Wings fans, we were spoiled. We were spoiled for a long time, and now we're coming back to reality. We're not that good of a hockey team.
And yes, last night was nice coming and beating. Finally, the Wings did play a good third period, and they were successful in that
That's the problem.
win.
We're not a consistent hockey team.
The Wings
we don't play 3 periods.
I can't remember the last time I seen the Wings play 60 minutes of hockey.
I'll tell you the last time.
Of a good 60-minute hockey game.
I'll tell you the last time. It was when we played Philadelphia in our last home game last season. What? When we were fighting again in the playoffs. We played the Flyers at home. That was the last time we played a complete hockey game.
That game against Dallas,
no, they
you
were.
don't think?
No.
They were outshot.
The third period.
Yeah, the shots were like,
dead.
It was 17-3 or something. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
But you're going to have a rough go of things if you don't start scoring goals. And also the Wings defensively, I know the Wings are banged up right now. The only good thing is Mike Green is emerging as a very good defenseman in his second year with the Wings. He's taking a next step forward. DeKaiser is starting to make strides, but Mike Green
he's our best.
has taken... Yes, Mike Green is not a number one guy, but he is the number one guy here in Detroit. Cronwall is barely on one leg. DeKaiser is
Cronwall
coming...
did make a nice play in overtime yesterday. I'll give him that.
He did. Pat in the back to Cronwall for that.
You know what? I said it I even said it 2 years ago. I feel like Cronwall, if you're going to keep him on the team, he should be more of a special teams player. Yeah. Less time on the ice. He's still a decent penalty kill, even power play. I mean, the guy still has a decent slap shot.
Yeah,
he
put him
can
at the
score
point.
from the blue
He's
line.
accurate.
But you know what?
So you got 5 games at home coming up. Columbus, Philly, Arizona, Kings, Ducks. Big home games before the holidays kick off. Now,
Gotta take 3 of 5.
In that stretch of home games, I think you got to win 3 of 5 too. Columbus is a team that you're going to be coming in. You've owned Columbus over the years, but this is a different Blue Jackets team.
Last week you said the Red Wings were going to beat Columbus at home.
I did see that last week, but after watching Columbus,
you said it's eventually going to end. Is this team going to be the next
Columbus
Cleveland Indians?
Columbus is going to stay hot to the All-Star break. Columbus is not for real.
What's impressing me more about Columbus, it's not just that they're winning games. They're winning games convincingly and against good teams.
Columbus is beating good teams.
They've beaten the Capitals. They've beaten the Lightning twice. They've beaten. Well, they just had a home and home against the Coyotes that they beat. So
they're gonna lose to
they've
Columbus.
won 4 in a row.
Then they'll win 3 in a row against Philly, Zona, and LA, and then they'll lose to Anaheim.
You hope that they beat the Kings without the quickless Kings. But you still got Kopitar.
Kings are good. Doughty. They're not great. They're not terrible. They're just middle of the road.
You know what I'm going to enjoy watching? The game against the Kings because one of my favorite defensemen, Drew Doughty.
That guy that should be on the Red Wings.
Oh, give me a break.
It won't work.
Drew Doughty on Detroit.
Those next 3 road games, though, after that homestand are big, too. I mean,
Carolina, Tampa Bay, and Florida.
Tampa Bay, they're only 2 points ahead of us right now. 2 or 3 points. I mean, we're not far behind or we're ahead of Florida, actually. And Carolina, we're ahead of them, too, I think.
But you got to take care of business at the Joe.
We've been terrible at the Joe.
You need to start winning at
we were on
the
like
Joe.
a 6-game losing streak at one point.
Tickets got to be cheap.
How many games are we going to take to overtime?
No, I look for tickets to
the
that game.
in
How are they
regulation?
Because it's the last season of the Joe. That's the only reason
I was able to get 2 tickets for the game against Dallas for $40. The
They're
game
cheap
against
right
Columbus
now.
on Friday is $40 to start.
Wait, $40 each or $40 total? They're $20.
$40 to start.
No, the game
That's
against
one
Dallas.
ticket.
No, the game against Dallas.
$40 total
For
against
20,
Dallas.
$20.
The game against Columbus, StubHub, $40 a ticket against the Jackets. Why is that?
Because
Columbus is relevant.
I will
they
tell
raise
you,
them. They raise them as the season goes on.
And because it's probably Friday night.
Tampa Bay game that I went to, it started off as like $13 when the season started. Why, I don't know, because Tampa Bay's become a huge rival.
Well, they're always going to be cheap before the season starts. That's when tickets are always cheap.
No, because I was looking ahead. Dallas's tickets were like $30. They must have came down because Dallas was struggling. But with Tampa Bay, I was shocked to see that they were so cheap. But then by the time she got them, I think they were like $25. So, yeah, I mean, they do go up, I think, as the season goes on. And Columbus is a team that obviously is playing good hockey.
It depends a lot on the night, if it's a giveaway, and the opponent's record. Columbus is relevant right now.
They were giving away 10 statues for you guys as they were giving away really neat military shirts for our game. I didn't get one because they were too small, but you know we've gone to some giveaway games, and that might have a little implication on the price. So.
Yep. That statue. Everybody, there's people in line that were like, I just want this statue.
Yeah,
I'm going to leave.
Pretty neat statue.
It's like, give me a break.
Going back to your hot take, I like it and all, and I could actually see it being a possibility.
Oh, but
personally, I don't trust Ken Holland to even make a call for that.
He won't. He wouldn't make that.
He's too stubborn in his ways.
He would do it 10 years ago when it was free spending, but not now. He's too much of a penny pincher.
What do you think about this, though? Do you potentially see the Red Wings? You know, we're not in a very good spot free agency wise. We haven't made the best decisions.
We got the new arena, though. Let's make a splash.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're moving to the new arena. That could potentially draw interest to some free agent players. Mm-hmm. And that might be the one thing that saves us.
Yeah, it's a revamped downtown area.
Saves this team from actually plummeting to the bottom.
Players are greedy because they like the attention on them. They want to be playing in a new arena. There's going to be a lot of focus on the Red Wing team next year.
I've heard the same thing. Where
I haven't looked at the upcoming free agent list.
I've heard two things about why players don't sign with the Wings. One, it was Babcock. People didn't like playing for Babcock because he's brutal. He's gone. Mm-hmm. The Joe's leaving, but I would hear the Joe was a jump. People don't want to go to the jump.
Now it's a new arena.
You walk in the Joe,
Stay of the art,
you're going to run into. I'm not being disrespectful. I know times are hard. You're going to run into a bum, someone trying to mug you, someone following you to the Joe for your hockey player, or you walk in there and the arena smells like piss. Because it does.
This new arena will obviously be nicer, and it's going to be in a lot nicer an area of the city because they're making it a nice area of the city. They're making this a several block thing, like stadium and then hockey. Well, not hockey town, whatever they're calling it, the district or whatever.
District of Detroit.
Yeah. So it'll be a nice area. It's right around the other stadiums.
Oh, sir.
I feel
We all want to move forward.
We're moving forward.
all right,
We are moving forward.
We're trying to move forward.
There we are.
But
I wanted to pull up the top 10 unrestricted free agents for next year, though, because I wanted to loop Chad's
let's
point.
look at that.
You got Brent Burns.
He already signed.
Did he?
Yep.
It says here.
I thought I heard that too.
They signed him already. Just recently.
Yeah, it was just a couple weeks
Oh,
ago.
must have got him
Yep,
out
he's
there.
signed.
All right. Ben Bishop.
No,
No, he's going to Vegas.
we already have our goal.
Joe Thornton.
Nope, way too old.
Yeah, 37. Wow,
Too old.
$6.75 million.
Great beard, but too old.
Yeah.
Kevin Shattenkirk.
I'd be interested.
Yes,
Defense.
I'd definitely
The
be
price
interested.
He's an
tag.
Olympian, guys.
but oh god,
The price tag's gonna be high, but you know what? We're gonna have to
$4.25
spend a
million.
little bit.
Brian Elliott.
absolutely not.
No.
Yeah,
Pass.
goaltenders.
We don't need goalie.
Martin Hansel.
No.
No,
Alexander Radloff.
Potentially.
If you can get him cheap.
potentially depends on the price.
102 points in 154 career games. TJ Oshie.
Yes,
Was a hot
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
but
he was a hot name.
he'll probably get re-signed.
He's going to
though.
get resigned.
Yes.
I'd be shocked if he made it the free agent.
Patrick Sharp, who we were just talking about in the trade.
So streaky. Kind of reminds me a lot of Johan Franzen.
Yeah, a little bit.
Fronda.
He's 35 too. I was going to say his age for next year. It will be 35 years old. Carl Alsner.
No, thank you.
No.
That's your top 10.
So, I mean, unless you're going to go out and make as far as a splash
Trade.
as the trade goes, which, the Wings got so many good prospects in the organization, but want to know why we don't have the good prospects? Because they're all up here.
Yeah.
Well, you
Or you baby them,
you want to
and then they walk away.
At least you are playing some of them, but like guys that we've drafted in the past, they rot in Grand Rapids.
Well, next year you're gonna want to hope that your Miller's gone. He's on a 1-year deal. Your Ott's gone. He's on a 1-year deal.
When is Danny Cleary going to retire?
I don't
He's
care
still
about
playing
Dan
for Grand
Cleary.
Rapids?
That's fine. If he's in Grand Rapids, I hope he has a dandy time. He can play another 10 years in Grand Rapids. I don't care. You're hoping Erickson's potentially gone.
I think
You're gonna lose
Erickson for another year.
Cronwall.
probably.
Cronwall.
Cronwall will probably retire.
What's left
this
on?
year. I'd
Yeah,
be
what's left on
shocked.
his contract?
Probably a couple of years
Yeah.
knowing Ken Holland. But who do you think's gonna be drafted? So you're losing someone via draft.
The Wings will probably get a
Defenseman.
top 10 pick this year in the
No.
draft.
I'm saying
Prediction.
you're gonna lose someone to Vegas to open up a spot.
Oh.
It's gonna be Howard maybe if you don't deal him. Could be Glendening potentially.
I'd rather trade
Yeah.
Howard. I'd rather trade Howard. Get something for
Oh,
him.
I would
I would-
too.
I would
Don't
trade
lose
Howard
for
too.
free.
Because goaltending's in high demand right now.
Yeah.
Maybe you lose Helm. I don't know.
Sheahan.
It'd be great if they took Helm
Draft
off our
Sheahan.
hand.
Get Sheahan off the team.
Sheahan's
Or
not going
Glendening.
But there's going to be some spots to open up. Maybe you can deal some people away, but you want to hope that you can open up a couple spots and bring in a couple. It doesn't have to be a top 10 free agent. Of course, Oshie or someone like that would be great. But if you can bring in a couple good role players, maybe you can kind of revive the team. Not totally go to the dumps.
Do you want to go into the new arena with just
Mediocre.
here's Dylan?
Well, I don't think you have a choice. You don't have a choice to go in with a good team.
Well, this is probably the
What about this?
scariest.
What about this? Do you guys really believe that the Wings are going to have their full slate of guys next year, opening up the new arena? Do you really think Zetterberg's going to have another year? Do you really think Cronwall's going to have another year?
Well, Cromwell's going to be gone.
Cronwall's probably going to hang it up.
But if
Zetterberg.
there's some greedy bastards out there that want to open up this new arena, then they'll stay.
Zetterberg will be here
Cromwell
still,
still's got
even
2 years
though I'm
left.
all for giving Larkin the C to start the new arena.
Zetterberg has any kind
It's
of.
going to go to Advocator.
I think if I
No.
really believe
To
it,
start off.
No, it won't.
To start off.
It will not.
I think so.
it probably will, and it'll make me mad too, Chad. Don't worry.
Chad, it will.
I really,
would-
if
no.
Zetterberg has another injury, I think he's done. I think he'll call it a career. I really believe that his time.
You guys are over here hoping that he'll get an injury at the
I'm
All-Star
not hoping
break.
that he
I
gets
don't hope
hurt.
he gets hurt.
No.
If he's playing like this, I hope he keeps playing.
Yeah.
I don't want.
We
if
need
he-
this, though.
If he is productive, I hope he's on the ice.
Okay.
The problem is every year he gets unproductive around February and dogs his ass through the playoffs.
That's the biggest thing for Zetterberg is he doesn't show up in the playoffs.
Here's a
neither
question
did
mark.
and neither did Datsuk. As good as they
And
are,
the-
they don't show up.
Zetterberg
sometimes.
is the
And
David
that's-
Price of the Red Wings.
You know what? And that's not Datsyuk's and Zetterberg's fault.
No.
That's Ken Holland's
Holland's
fault for
fault.
relying on 2 old guys to be the stars of your team
Yes.
for 20 years.
And it's been like that for the past 5 or 6 years when we have early playoff exits. I hate listening to Henrik Zetterberg's farewell to the season speech because it's like literally it's a replay of every year.
Well, you know what? He might not even
Putting that old Red Wing hat on, and
you know, if it keeps going the way that it is this year, he won't have a postseason farewell speech. He'll have a regular season farewell speech.
Well, here's a question I want to propose to you guys. Is since we're talking about All-Star break things that might happen or not, what do you think is more prime to happen first before the All-Star break? Henrik Zetterberg gets injured, or the Columbus Blue Jackets start to go on a downward spiral? What happens first?
Jackets.
I'm going to say the Jackets. I think the Jackets will start to struggle before Zetterberg gets hurt.
The one thing that
Let me look at the list of opponents here.
Oh, boy.
Now, can the Red Wings get hurt?
Well, Red Wing, that's only Red Wing opponent.
Can players get hurt? Obviously. But the Red Wings are protecting themselves this year in terms of...
As far as rough games go... Sorry, Chad.
The players are still standing up for
He's looking for teams that are going to nail
Jared Bowl will destroy you there.
Stop it. You're going to have Odd out there, yeah.
Zetterberg's a smart player on the ice,
I keep
too.
forgetting that Jared Bowles with Anaheim.
Zetterberg is well aware of what's around him. You never see Zetterberg take many big licks. You know?
You don't.
Who would have thought? You get rid of
He's
the
very
players,
aware.
and all of a sudden Columbus starts playing good. You knew that was coming.
They don't have any Jonathan Ericssons on their team.
They don't have a Jared Bowl on their team anymore.
Anaheim's still playing pretty well.
Yeah.
But I would probably have to go with the Jackets starting to tail off a little bit. I don't see them tailing off until after the
late
All-Star break,
January. Yeah.
When is the All-Star break? February? Or January?
It's January.
It is not on the magnet schedule here.
It should be. It should say All-Star break.
There should be an opening in the schedule. That's
It
what I'm
is fan voting opened up on the 1st. We know that.
February. No, it's not February.
It's in LA this year.
It's got to be right here. It's got to be this.
It's in LA. It's in LA, right?
It might be in February.
It's got to be February 22nd through the 27th.
Oh, Steve's birthday.
22nd through the 27th.
How touching, Derek.
Yeah, the 20. Now I'm hearing All-Star Weekend's the 28th and the 29th.
Of what?
January.
Really? It's that short?
I'm assuming that would mean skills competition
January?
on the 28th.
Oh, wow. Okay, I guess it could be.
The 28th and 29th, and then they're back
on the
at
31st.
home on 31st against the Okay.
I'll tell you
it's on Monday, January 30th.
I'll tell you what's big for a playoff push if they get to that point. They have 4 of their last 5 games at home in April.
Yeah, if we're still in the playoffs.
Now one's against Montreal, 2 are against Ottawa.
Yeah, you got back-to-back home and home with Ottawa.
Click. I don't know, man. It's going to be a tough road, but we'll see where the Red Wings slot in. They're just, like we mentioned on the pre-show, we're lucky that Tampa Bay is sucking it up right now because our division is very open for the taking.
The Red Wings need to catch a couple.
Breaks.
You know, they need to get a 6 or 7 out of 8 or 9 game
win streak.
They're getting points in every game right now.
Yeah. If it's 1 point or not, they're on what, a 4-game point streak, 3-game point streak, something like that.
I don't know. They need to extend that to about 10.
Yeah, they need something better. They just need to.
Friday's
they need to
big,
be
I
consistent.
think. I think it's a big game on Friday.
Let's go, Columbus.
Very big.
Let's go. Beat Columbus, please. Anyways. So that's it for the Red Wings. We're going to conclude with WWE.
John Graves?
No John Groves tonight, but it was I got to give TLC, SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view, I got to give it a solid B- because I feel like they wrote a very good pay-per-view. The Ellsworth ending with turning heel, pushing Ambrose off the ladder.
Very
was
predictable.
I didn't see it coming. I will give him that. I don't think it made sense.
No, at the time you're like, what?
I don't think it made sense, but I didn't watch SmackDown.
The SmackDown gave it away. If you didn't watch SmackDown, it was a surprise. If you watched SmackDown, wasn't really.
I want to face AJ Styles. I think I have a better chance of beating AJ Styles by myself.
I'm just waiting for the Undertaker to start taking souls and digging holes.
I'm getting tired of this hype because we keep on getting the hype of the Undertaker. But
I feel like it was a month ago that he said he's going to be back full time.
It was 4 weeks Tuesday last night that Undertaker showed up, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, when are we going to get Undertaker back? Okay, Team SmackDown won Survivor Series, so okay, he's not going to beat up anybody from SmackDown. But now we're hearing rumors that AJ Styles is because. It all started with AJ Styles being interviewed on a podcast. How do you feel about facing Undertaker? He's like, hey, the fans want it.
Ellsworth is going to win, and then they're going to have Undertaker face Ellsworth.
No, Ellsworth, that's their whole reasoning behind. That's why it sucks that AJ got injured at TLC because they were going to have a quick match. Ambrose was probably going to cost Ellsworth the championship. Predictable. I really hope they don't do a program with Ellsworth and Ambrose. It's not worth it. Ellsworth is not a main event at all. He shouldn't even be in the main storyline right now. I was an Ellsworth fan A month ago, not anymore.
The story has gotten just
I'm over the James
stale.
Ellsworth thing, heel or face. I mean, it was a cool thing for a short term, but they're jamming this guy down our throats, and they're taking away time for guys that actually matter.
They need to end this month in terms of AJ Styles. Obviously defeats what's his face.
Yeah, Ellsworth.
And then
that'll be quick.
They need to have some sort of promo and get the Undertaker going.
Yeah,
I mean they really.
Taker was seen at Raw backstage on Monday, but
he's not going to be a Raw guy.
No,
though.
he was back there because it was Dallas. It was his
hanging
hometown.
out.
Yeah, he's from Houston. It was right in his backyard, so he went and came to see the show. People were reporting that he was seen limping pretty badly while walking around, which he just had hip surgery a month ago, so he's probably still rehabbing. Maybe that's why they're holding him off of putting him on TV, is because they don't want to see Undertaker limping into the ring, even though he moves at a very ant-like pace.
They should start doing some promos with him, though.
Yeah, if you're not going to have him on the show,
have him wrestle. You don't have to have,
or just have him appear in the ring.
Bumps.
Yeah,
just have him stand there.
Don't have him rush the ring. Just do lights go off. 10 seconds later, he's in the ring. Just do something like that. But I was really hoping it would have been perfect
Might take
timing.
a little longer for the lights to stay down.
TLC would have been the most.
Even if they have him come out, like if Kane has a match and he comes out with Kane, like whatever.
Well,
just see him.
From a storyline perspective, it wouldn't make sense for Kane. But yes, to get SmackDown more eyes on the product, which there's still better storylines and writing on SmackDown.
They just don't have talent.
They dropped the ball.
Especially with Cena out right now.
They dropped the ball a little bit this past Tuesday, last night. I felt like last night's show was a complete bust. I gave it a D+.
It was a little bit boring.
It was a boring
It
show.
was just
as much as people get fed up with Cena, SmackDown's missing him right now.
SmackDown's missing Cena.
They have no diversity in their matches.
They really need the Undertaker on there, not necessarily every week, but every other week at least, to start building something. I mean, Raw obviously is serious about starting up a feud with Seth Rollins and Triple H. They should be doing the exact same thing with Styles and Taker.
Shortly. Well, like I said,
you got a month and a half. You still got time. You got about 6 weeks.
I feel like after that whenever that WWE match takes place,
that's when Taker
for the title.
Yeah,
it's gotta happen.
He could win. But Styles could be holding up his thing.
But where do you put Ambrose?
Choke slam.
Where do you put Ambrose in that though? You can't just have Ambrose sit there.
Well, that's the problem, because with the live event, they have a match already for Styles, Cena, and Ambrose.
I don't even know if that'll be televised.
I don't know if it'll be televised,
well,
but it's marked. That's when Cena's coming back, is December 26th.
Oh, it's at that event?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, be sure to tune in on this Saturday. He'll be hosting Saturday Night Live. Be only the second WWE
That was
star.
shoved down your throat enough on the past Raw.
Raw. Only the second superstar from WWE to host since The Rock in 2001.
Now, if you didn't notice, I did put this in the show preview. Now that who's worth the price of admission as far as wrestling
AJ Styles
standpoint?
AJ Styles.
Who are you paying to see? If you're going to
on
Raw,
SmackDown or Raw?
Well, on a Raw,
any show.
Seth Rollins
right now, not in the past.
Raw,
right
there's
now.
more people to see.
It's a more depth on that roster.
I would pay to see Kevin Owens and the Chris Jericho
and Ambrose,
Rollins, Reigns, even the tag teams.
I'm paying to see Enzo and Cass. I'll be sure.
The Diva, even Charlotte and Sasha put on good matches. So there's a lot on Raw.
I'm still picking Raw over SmackDown, just because even though SmackDown's a better show, Raw has the roster talent. They have the talent.
SmackDown, the only people I'd be interested in are Wyatt's with Orton, Ambrose and Styles, and Cena if he's back.
And Taker. And like I said, your chances are slimmer and slimmer to see Taker.
I don't want to see anyone in that Diva division.
No.
I don't want to see any of those tag teams minus
Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss, and maybe.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss is good to look at.
But honestly, dude, those are piss break matches for most people. I want to see Taker, man.
But as far as one guy, not from shows.
Styles on SmackDown.
One guy.
I'd pay to see Shane and
Shane.
him talk.
But where the hell?
He hasn't been there since Survivor Series.
Concussed.
No, he's fine.
Or something, rather. He's taking some time.
Stephanie was there a couple weeks ago. Shane hasn't been on since Survivor Series.
I heard him and Stephanie. Well, he was on the week that
Linda's
Tuesday.
taking a big job.
Let's not talk about that. That's stupid. That's overrated. Linda's only being appointed to Trump's cabinet because they paid him $7 million for his campaign. That's it.
Yeah, the position she has is really a nothing.
WWE goes back to
she's stupid. Yeah,
PG-13.
Because now she's in politics again. Stupid decision. This is not what WWE fans want to see.
So does this mean
I think they should have a match in the White House?
G-rated.
Well, yeah.
I challenge you for the WWE Championship in the White House.
Yes, I want to go and make a public appearance on SmackDown because it'd be huge. It's huge.
You know what would put Trump over? And for people that didn't even like Trump shows up at WrestleMania.
Why not?
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
He's heavily endorsed by the McMahons. Why not?
I know.
He'll get booed out of the arena. He'll get booed out of the arena.
No.
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 Where's it at?
Orlando, isn't it?
Yeah, if it's down south, dude, the people would love him.
People would love it. You know how great that would be for him.
As I say, if
for WWE, for Trump
he-
to show up. Not
He used to be in WWE.
if it was in
storyline.
Texas, they would love it.
Hey, when they brought him in, remember he did the whole buy-in of Raw, and then he was at WrestleMania. He was in Detroit.
Yeah.
Of all cities to visit, he was in Detroit.
One of those $1 million things that he dropped.
Detroit always has
Almost
a good
hit me.
Raw.
Yeah. You were there. Did you catch a Trump dollar
I did
bill?
not catch a Trump dollar.
dropped
bill.
it from the
Came
rack?
close.
That's the WrestleMania he was in too. Was the
Yeah.
Detroit WrestleMania?
Yeah.
I didn't catch any of Trump's money.
And then, of course, there were 2 WrestleManias in Trump
Shucks.
Towers. Yeah. He's been heavily involved in WWE
Trump,
over the years.
take it in.
But that will get him so much negative publicity, I believe, if he shows up at a WrestleMania. I feel like the media will go crazy.
But WWE
He's gonna be president by then.
Yeah.
He'll be too busy for that shit.
That's what I'm saying. He'll already be president. There's no way. If he sets aside his presidential duties to go attend a WrestleMania,
People will be a little upset.
But
they know it would be all driven
Barack
by
Obama
McMahon's.
can go to a hockey game or a basketball game like he does. He goes to Cubs games.
It's different.
What's the difference? It's
Because
entertainment.
It's not nationally televised.
Yeah, it is.
No. Not national.
Yeah.
No. Cubs games are on WGN
Cubs games are on TBS, ESPN.
sometimes. This is like a
I
worldwide spectacle.
I don't see the big deal. I mean,
I don't see the big deal.
presidents still get off days.
I don't care to see him.
Be quite honest.
Oh, yeah, I
if
wouldn't
Vince
care.
McMahon can pull some strings and get Trump on there, how many buy rates WWE's going to get?
Money,
for the
money,
network?
money, money. Money, 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 money. Oh, look up above, guys. Fake Trump dollar bills. Get out of here. I'm over it. He's been there, done that.
It's
I'm
been
not
done
excited.
before.
Because
but just think of the
He sucks.
money for
McMahon
WWE.
sucks his ass because they donated $7 million to his campaign. That's why he sought after Linda. Yes, it's the only reason why.
But going back to real wrestling, okay,
Real
one
wrestling.
guy.
I just said
real wrestling.
AJ Styles and Seth Rollins from both shows.
Chev.
I go Styles. On the
You're a Reigns slappy, aren't you?
Oh, I go to see Reigns.
You
but
love the sweat.
no, if
You
I
love it.
if I
Conditioner.
paid to see someone, it'd be Big Cass and Enzo because
Oh, I'm into
they're
that.
entertaining.
Yes.
Okay.
For the entertainment, with the active roster, it'd be Styles, but if we had our full rosters, it'd be Cena because Cena's a good talker and he puts on good.
I'd say Styles or
matches.
Balor for me. Styles definitely right now. Well, Balor's obviously hurt, but a lot of people haven't seen Balor full swing yet. So I'm hoping when Balor does come back, what I've seen and what NXT fans and some indie fans have seen of Balor, we'll start to see that.
You can't lie though. Even though I'm a Reigns fan, Reigns does put on really good matches.
He does. He's entertaining.
He's good.
I'm
He's
not saying
getting better.
I don't want to say he's overrated or underrated. I just think he's there. Like he'll never be over the way that management and Vince McMahon likes him because. Oh wow, we had John Groves in, out, in, out, in, out. I missed him all the time. Sorry about that. John. He's back out. No, like the only way he will get fully over is if he's with the Shield. And sadly, if they teased it for a while, Rollins and Reigns getting in maybe a tag team together, but now they're both going on their own thing. You got Reigns, who's feuding with Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho.
I think he can still come back though.
Yeah.
After
But
Mania.
you gotta get Ambrose on Raw again. You gotta bring all 3 of them together, or have them
Do
reunite.
it with the brand.
Yeah, or have them reunite at Rumble. Maybe do a Rumble spot because that's the next time that both the brands will be together. Do a Royal Rumble.
I think
spot.
if you're going to see it happen, it's going to be after Mania because I think that's when you're going to get your Rollins Triple H match. Obviously, that'll be done after
Goldberg
Mania.
versus Lesnar 3.
Well, I mean, that doesn't really matter, but and then
One more time.
Please let it be the last.
and you can be done.
And let it be a 10-minute match at least.
And you can let Reigns lose if he still holds the championship. Then let him lose to Finn Balor, and then you can have Balor go off with Owens or something, and
I
then you
feel
can
like
have
we're
a
gonna
reason
see-
to bring the Shield back.
If I were to predict the Royal Rumble, which is still 6 weeks away, a lot of time, from given what we've heard about Finn Balor being ready for the Royal Rumble, I feel like the Royal Rumble will either be won by one of 2 guys, John Cena or Finn Balor. Each will get.
Yeah, I don't see
title shots.
Lesnar or Goldberg winning the
No,
Royal
No,
Rumble.
they're going to
gonna
make it.
eliminate each other.
They're going to eliminate each other. They're going to fight outside. They're going to probably fight outside the ring in the audience.
They'll be one of the final 4, I'm sure. Final 5.
I don't know about that even.
Quick elimination for both of them.
They're probably. I think they need to start off 1 and 2. I think to get people hyped for the match.
I'd be fine with that.
1 and 2. Yeah, have Goldberg 1, Lesnar 2, and have them come out and just brawl.
But yeah, I agree. I think Balor or Cena would probably be the winners of a Royal
Have
Rumble
them
match.
do something similar like 99. If you guys remember 99 when they had McMahon and Austin start off 1 and 2 and they fought into the crowd and neither one of them I think were eliminated, but they crawled into the bottom rope and then they didn't come back to the very end and then of course McMahon won by eliminating Austin.
Oh goodness, I remember that.
Do something similar with Goldberg and Lesnar. have them like start off and then have them like beat each other up.
I just wonder who the 2 or 3 like mystery guys will be. The shockers, you know.
Honestly,
Kevin Nash.
Dun, 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 dun,
Someone from
dun.
NXT.
Yeah, Samoa Joe.
Nakamura.
You'll get
Well, here's the thing: you can debut at the Royal Rumble, but not be on the main roster.
I think you'll get an old guy too, like a guy that comes back.
Diamond Dallas Page every year comes in, number 24.
No, I'm not like someone big like Michaels or someone like that.
Well, it's in the Alamo Dome. A Texas guy. There's got to be a big Texas guy.
Taker?
No, I don't think
Taker won't be in the Rumble.
Taker
will either be facing AJ Styles.
By then, Undertaker better be in his feud
With
for the
Styles.
championship on SmackDown.
Yes, it has to be. They're going to be around time. I'm going to give SmackDown 2 weeks, which will give them exactly 1 month to the Rumble. And you can have Taker not show up next week and the week after, but that third week.
Yeah, the week after he should definitely show up.
Oh, shush. Oh, yeah, that's right. So you got. Actually, no. So it would be next.
What do I got? 2 weeks?
You got 2 weeks. So if he's not on this coming week, I don't think he will be, dude. I think you're going to just miss him by a week. Something tells me that it's going to take them 2 more weeks to wrap up this Styles and Ellsworth and Ambrose feud.
Here's another big issue. How hurt is Styles?
He was moving fine in the boot. I saw him moving okay.
Is that more of a sell? A kayfabe thing?
No.
Or is
it's not kayfabe.
I'm hurt, but I'm not hurt.
He was legitimately not medically cleared to wrestle. That was not a storyline. He did, and I heard he also hurt his shoulder too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a good match. I can see how both him and Ambrose could have been hurt.
That 450 splash onto the table, man.
That was good.
Like the way he balanced himself. I sent you the gift. I tagged you in the gift. And the way he balanced and how he pulls himself up. I mean, he weighs probably, about 260, 270. The way... all right, 220.
200 pounds.
All right, 220. The way he still was able with his upper body strength to pull himself up onto the ropes and then just keep his balance for them a few seconds and then jump off and do a complete somersault and land perfectly on Ambrose.
The guy is phenomenal. Give him his due.
Phenomenal. He's been in this craft for 20 years. I mean, the guy's pushing 40.
He doesn't change his moveset.
He's pushing 40. Will we see AJ Styles cut his hair anytime soon? Will he continue the soccer mom look?
I'm going to go for that soccer mom look, too.
You like that look? You don't like him with the short, spiky hair?
I think he looks fine.
It looks
fine. The way his...
I like when he was in Aces and Eights back in TNA when he actually had the greasy, longer hair. Mm-hmm. It was matted down. I kind of like that look for Styles.
You're all about appearances.
You have to have a look. You have to have a good look.
You do. I think Styles has the right look. The way, obviously with the butt crack, ripping his pants.
And he embraced it. Funny. How'd you like how he embraced it on SmackDown?
That was funny.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Oh, not the boot. My phenomenal ass. But yeah, going back to Styles, though, I mean, the guy is phenomenal. Let's admit that.
Give him his props.
He is the face that runs the place, and that's SmackDown. With Cena gone, he is that guy leading the way. He's the champion for a reason.
You pay to see him.
You pay to see him.
You want to hope
if I'm going to SmackDown, I want to guarantee I'm seeing at least 3 people. I want to see Ambrose. I want to see Styles. And I want to see Bray Wyatt. Those are my 3 favorites. But I'm still picking Raw over SmackDown because of the talent depth.
Mm-hmm.
So that pretty much is it, man. That's all I got for the show tonight. I think we're almost going on 2 hours here.
A long one tonight.
It was a long one.
Yeah, I'm good. I got covered everything.
I think I got everything off.
Go Lions, go Wings. Let's hope they can kind of get something going here for the long term and see what the Tigers do here the last few days.
He's ready for his playoff tickets for the Lions.
I already put my deposit in.
Yeah, right.
By the way, how much was that? How much is the deposit for a Lions playoff ticket?
I'm doing the pay-as-you-go, so they took a penny out of my account, and then they'll charge me they verify your card.
Oh, okay.
And then so you're paying. This is all out of your own pocket for the season tickets.
Yeah.
What are you paying for the entire year?
It was $985 for the season.
Oh my goodness.
And then it's
honestly,
you're making good money at that. You're making good money at Joe's Produce, eh?
Yeah. Then I think it's $430 for the playoffs. So I think it's $70 for the first game.
But you get first dibs though.
And then if it's so it's $70 for the first game, home playoff game, and then if they host the NFC Championship, it's $129.
$50.
And your seats don't change for the playoffs, right?
No, it's my same seats.
And you're behind the goal line, or where are you at?
Yeah,
lower bowl.
No, I'm upper 8 rows in the upper.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, there's
too
not.
high.
There's not a bad seat in Ford
No,
Field.
there's
I'm
not.
not gonna lie to you.
You don't have any obstructions. I've been there 4 or 5 times.
No.
You really have no poles in your way.
No, it's good distance. I like being up high.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
see more.
football coach in me. I can kind of see the plays developing and what they're doing.
And you study, I'm sure.
I do.
You see everything.
I try to call the play before they run it. And,
Oh, yeah. The coach in you
He
does
knows
that.
that. He
the coach in
knows.
me is
Oh,
very
yeah, I
analytic
getcha.
with the game.
Yeah. But yeah, with that note, I think we're going to call this one a podcast, guys. It's been a good show. We'll continue this talk more next week in depth, and hopefully we have some good luck on our side for the Lions. So,
Let's hope so.
one pride.
Yeah.
Roll the boat.